whistle. He's tied up. Puck loose. Backhand. Scores. Brandon Hagel. Cross. For Filkowski. Scores. And the game is tied. Filkowski. Yemidov. Puts it again. Suzuki. His copy. In front. Scores. Inline. Filkowski. Back-to-back. Power play goals. Comes Suzuki in. Point Hudson. Down low. Overtime. Winner for Uri. Filkowski.
Can sleep.
He scaled it around, just on to play it was Ristolainen. Sanheim split a couple of defenders and scored! He takes it back, scores! We're tied! Down, Sissons on the backhand. Needs Hannaford. Got it toward Goetz! We're down!
Here's J.J. Moser. Shoot. Scores. J.J. Moser. First. And the Lightning have tied the series.
Room for Manson. Wrist shot blocked again in front. Score! Wow! Wins it!
Miller hands it off. Mueller's in front. Line scores.
So boring. Thank God for hockey.
That's right, Sir Charles. Thank God for hockey because once again the playoffs are upon us, and they truly are. I mean, we're going to talk about it. Is this the most entertaining playoffs? Just in general, we'll get more into that. And thank you, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Big Apple Hockey. It's great to be with you guys once again. I, of course, am your host, Mark Williams. Delighted to be by the man from the Hockey News, Mr. Anthony LaRocco.
Yeah, sorry I missed the previews last week, but I am back from Kentucky and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, how was the Kentucky trip, Anthony?
It was good. Got to see Riley Green in concert. That was awesome. Louisville Slugger Museum, Churchill Downs. It was nice. It was good. Pleasant surprise.
See, I never got to see Churchill Downs, and we never went to the Louisville Slugger Museum. So this is also where I have to admit I'm a Marucci guy when it comes to my bats. But that's a different story. As the pups want to try to get on with us.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. Don't they know they're going to get on in time anyway? As soon as the doorbell rings, they'll start.
They rally each other up.
Well, guys, Filk will be joining us in a little bit, just a few minutes. But let's get to the A block. And there's my A block graphics brought to you by SeatGeek. Use the promo code Big Apple Hockey for $20 off your first order. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Sorry, Anthony, I didn't mean to put that over your face right there. And make sure you keep up to date with us with everything. All right. And once again, A block, there's your promo code right there for Big Apple Hockey. And also, don't forget, Big Apple Hockey trucker hats and shirts are available. Click the link down below. Guys, so, Anthony, the playoffs have started, and already we have seen multi-goal comebacks. We've seen overtime exchanges where, there's been 2 overtime games just in Tampa and Montreal alone, and they've been back and forth. This has been incredible. And we're only like 1.5 games in. Like you got 2 games in some series. Anaheim's going to play game 2 versus Edmonton tonight. What are your thoughts on the start of the playoffs?
You know what? For me, and I think the first round is always the best, just because how many games are on every night, and it's just, for me, it's the most fun round. Don't get me wrong, like conference finals, Stanley Cup, obviously the most intense, meaningful. That's where you ultimately want to go. But for me, I enjoy the first round thoroughly just because of the sheer amount of action going around the league. And like you said, overtime games, comebacks. So, so far, I think it's been fabulous. But I think, honestly, every year the first round is always a lot of fun. So I don't think it's any different from any others. But yeah, I think there's a lot of great series so far. Montreal and Tampa. That looks like that series is going to be pure cinema. Hopefully, it goes 7 for all of us. If you're a Lightning fan or Canadian fan, I don't think you want that stress, but I would like to see 7 games of it. I think Colorado and LA is going how we expected it, with Colorado up 2-0. Not sure if anybody expected the how close the games have been, low scoring, but nonetheless, Colorado's up 2-0, so I don't think that's much of a surprise. Philly being up 2-0 in Pittsburgh, the Battle of Pennsylvania there, I am a little surprised by that. I would have thought that, maybe they split, but, Philly flexing their muscles early on Pittsburgh. Yeah, and they're going back to Philly, so Pittsburgh's in some severe danger there. But yeah, I think so far all the series have been good to varying degrees, some better than others. But I'm really looking forward to how it progresses here as the scenes shift to other cities for games 3. But the one I'm keeping my eye on, obviously, is Tampa Bay and Montreal. I think that's great. And low key, honestly, Utah Vegas. I think that series is going to be a real fun series. See Utah even the score last night, but yeah, so far so good.
Yeah, Phil, what have you been seeing in this first round?
Everybody talks about Tampa, Montreal, and that's just been a war. It's been awesome to watch. 2 overtime games, 2 thrillers. Montreal looked like they may be taking advantage of Victor Hedman not being in the lineup, and then JJ Moser just had a game of games last night. He was just so good, in the defensive zone, and then he comes in and scores the overtime winner. Vegas and Utah has really been a good one to watch too, because of the fact that I thought that Vegas was going to win that series pretty handily, and Utah is really pretty. Minnesota and Dallas has been another really good one, and Dallas is not even operating at full strength. I want to see how it's going to be when Rupe Hintz comes back. Anaheim and Edmonton has also been pretty fun. If anybody's been watching that series, I know it's been a little bit of a late one, but Connor McDavid being held pointless in the first game, and the Edmonton Oilers come back from being down 3-2 after being up 2-0, and it's just a completely different game with McDavid not having a single point. Like, they score 4 goals, and you're telling me that McDavid was not in on one of them? I'll call you a liar if you told me that. Philadelphia and Pittsburgh has been a war too, but Philadelphia, I am so impressed by their young guys and the way that their young guys have stepped up. And one of the things I said about that series is that the way that Pittsburgh could win that is if they go up big early on Philadelphia and really kind of crush their spirits and really get into the young guys' heads. But Philadelphia has not allowed Pittsburgh to do that. They have been all over them like a dog on a bone. And it's been interesting to watch. Porter Martone, we're going to talk more about him later, but just his development. And even, what's funny? I watched Pardon the Interruption for like the first time in years last night randomly, because I was looking at I was trying to find the games. And I caught them right in the middle of talking about the Stanley Cup playoffs. And Tony Kornheiser started talking about Porter Martone. And how he was in the OHL, and then he was in Michigan State. And then he comes up and then he scores these goals. And he's one of the first teenagers in how many years to score goals in his first 2 games. And then you've got Logan Cooley, scores his first 2 playoff goals in his first 2 playoff games for the Mammoth, especially after game 1 when Nick Dowd said he was going to effing kill him. You don't think that feels so good for Logan Cooley? I mean, there are storylines here writing themselves as we speak. So I just love this. Like Anthony said, I even put this in the chat before I started singing the Christmas song. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Because it is. The first round is the best. You never know what's going to happen. You never the overtime goals in the first round are just madness. It's crazy. Remember Winnipeg tying that game and winning it last year against St. Louis.
I was actually about to bring that up.
So yeah, it's great to see. I love this. I wish the first round could last forever, honestly, because I'd be so happy with that. Because the first round is just you're watching a game, and then there's 3 other highlights from 3 other games that are going on, and you're like, oh, I have to get to this game. Oh, I have to get to that game. Oh, I have to get to this game. And it's so much fun. It really is.
And it really is. And I mean, you think about last year where you had Dallas have the Mikko Rantanen hat trick to the natural hat trick to basically off his old team. And you're like, geez, how are you going to top that? Then Cole Perfetti tying the game with a second left. You're getting all that stuff right here. Like, you got Boston going up 2-0, looking like they're in complete control of game 1. And Jeremy Swayman's locked in, and Tage Thompson just says, to hell with this. Puts 2 in the net. Samuelson scores in the third period, and Buffalo goes on to win their first playoff game in 15 years. So there's so much already. And by the way, and again, we'll get more into details of the rest of the series because we're going to do an early pick 'em for you guys in about a second. But it is just everything about this is the reason why. And we're going to talk more about this, but the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs. They are by far the best. I'll repeat this again when we discuss this, because we talk about other playoff formats. We talk about how maybe they need to tweak the format. I don't think so. This is what Gary Bettman wants, and this is what it's succeeding. And you got a good series with Minnesota and Dallas, who the first game, Minnesota swamps them, and they're hoping Dallas is going to, as I put in the opening, go to sleep. But Dallas woke up. They scored. They won game 2. And now they got game 3 tonight, which they're going to be. This is the slate of games for tonight. Penguins Flyers game 3, the Stars at the Wild game 3, and the Ducks and the Oilers playing game 2. This is the reason why you love this time of the year, and you're going to see the Cinderella stories start. This is when you start to see the Panthers emerge as a Stanley Cup Finals team, and Matt Tkachuk putting the team on his back, him and Sergei Bobrovsky going all the way to Stanley Cup Finals, losing, and then they win 2 straight. Or you get the teams like Tampa that announce that they're a team that's here to stay in 2015. And even though they struggled to get back to the Stanley Cup Finals after that, they really had to beat the Rangers in order to do it. And I still think that entire series and that playoff run could have gone differently if Matt Zuccarello just wore ear guards. Anyway, let's get into some Big Apple hockey pick'ems on this one, guys. And like I said, it's a little bit early. We're bringing it out for you.
I've got a gut feeling.
You want me to do 2 things?
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
Now shoot!
All right, guys. So, Anthony, let me start with you. Which team has impressed you the most so far?
That's a tough one because there's a lot of teams that look pretty good. I don't know. Like Carolina, that's what I expected. So like I don't know. Colorado again is what I expected. Although I am surprised, impressed how well they're defending and not giving LA much. I know LA is not a juggernaut offensively, but still. Buffalo is great. I guess if I have to pick, I'm gonna say Philly. I think Philly was a team that Pittsburgh series I thought is kind of like a toss up and go either way. I thought it'd be super close, but the way Philly is just suffocating Pittsburgh and just looking by far the better team, I have to go with Philly.
Phil, how about you? Which team has impressed you the most?
I gotta go Philly. I mean, Anthony, I hate to say the same answer, but Anthony basically took my answer. I did not expect this team to come, and I alluded to it before. I didn't expect them to come out and dominate the way that they did in the first 2 games and really, give the veteran Pittsburgh core the problems they've given them. I would have said Minnesota, but they lost game 2.
Yeah.
And Dallas really kind of came back. I think if I have to pick a player that's been most impressive, it's Porter Martone. It is Porter Martone so far. Like, he has just been incredible. You want to talk about a shot in the arm, coming straight out of college, going to the NHL, and just being the guy. Like, I didn't think Martone could be the guy. I thought he could be a help, but not the guy. He's been the guy for them.
Mm-hmm.
And there is ice in that. Oh no, I'm going to hold you to that. Don't you dare do that to me. Don't you dare do that to me, because I will absolutely hold you to that. And I want video of it, by the way. So, but Martone has just been, every time he goes out there, you can see the confidence that he's playing with. Like, he just like the fucks given meter is 0 right now for Porter Martone. He just does not care. He is just a stud. I mean, and as a Rangers fan, I should be hating the Flyers, but this team is playing with absolutely nothing to lose, and they are going and they're giving Pittsburgh hell. You know what? Maybe Pittsburgh is one of the weaker teams that's in the picture. Maybe they shouldn't have been where they were in the standings. I don't know. But right now, Philadelphia, for a team that's, that was in a 3rd seed, they're impressing me the most. Buffalo, they looked great in game 1. Not so great in game 2. Boston, up and down. Colorado's kind of had a tough time with LA. And you know what? If I'm gonna pick a number 2 team, it's probably LA. They're playing Colorado tough. LA. But right now, it's definitely Philly for me.
Yeah, it's unanimous. It's Philly. Philly has come out and really just taken it to Pittsburgh. You haven't really called Sidney Crosby's name pretty much at all.
No.
And that, I thought definitely this would be him kind of attacking the series. Like, this might be his last playoff run. And Evgeny Malkin, really good in game 1, sort of invisible in game 2. They obviously, we're going to get more into teams that are down 0-2, but in a second. But
you want the stats on Crosby in this series so far?
Just go right ahead.
0 points, -2, 4 penalty minutes.
That's ridiculous. I think the 4 penalty minutes.
That is what Philadelphia is doing to Crosby right now.
Well, we're going to ask whether or not they're one of the 0-2 teams that could change that in a second. But you'll love the way Boston and Buffalo played in general. Although, obviously, we're going to talk about a goal that was scored on UPL last night by Morgan Geeky that was a little bit of an eye-opener. And just that Minnesota-Dallas series is going to be a slugfest. And Anthony was able to touch on it, but we still haven't really talked much about Vegas and Utah, which probably is going to be the best series of them all. More on that later in our bar talk, guys. All right, let's go to what's the worst playoff goal you can remember in recent memory, and I do mean this century. Nick Lidstrom on Dan Cloutier, which he scored from center ice. Rasmus Anderson on Mike Smith, which he scored from just beyond the red line. And
that was his own blue line, actually.
It was his own, just beyond the red line. Right, but just beyond the So it was his own blue line, and Morgan Geeky on UPL. Phil, I'll start off with you on this one. Which one do you think is one that goalie wished they got back?
They're all really tough. Wow. I'm probably gonna have to go. I'm probably going to have to go UPL here. I know that the bouncer is tough, but how you have to be playing that better than that. I'm sorry, it's a soft backhand. It is not even meant to be a shot. The other two were shots on net. Like they were firing for the net. This was a dumping. This was an absolute dumping. So I'm gonna go UPL here.
Anthony, you think one of these, or do you have a writing candidate?
Well, no, out of all this is UPL. I mean, UPL, it's not even close. I mean, Lidstrom, it was he could really shoot the puck, and that was a clapper from center ice. Rasmus Anderson, again, it wasn't same as Lidstrom, but it was still like Phillips had a shot on goal. Geeky's on his backhand. It's a backhand flip, so it's Geeky on UPL for sure. As far as what you were just teasing there, yes, I did mention before he came on. What about the Brodeur own goal against the Ducks? That one is really bad too. But yeah, of all these three, it's UPL for me for sure.
Yeah, I'll be going back and forth on this one, looking at all these. I think the Anderson one might be the worst one. Remembering that one, I'm willing to give UPL a little bit of leeway because I saw a play like this on Henrik Lundqvist to open up a game in I think it was the shortened season. I think it was 2013 that it happened to him, and it just bounced in. But that was in Buffalo, so that's one reason why I'm willing to give a little bit of credit on that one. Also, a vulcanized rubber puck that's flat, that's this thick, it bounces in weird ways. However, I agree with you guys. Also, he played it poorly. That's what happens. Don't ever take it for granted. And that's a goal that Freddie Anderson would look over and go, that's weak. And he let in a weak one in game 2. So he's not out of the woods with that. But the Lidstrom one, it was a clean look for Cloutier. This is almost a toss-up either way.
The puck dipped though, and then it shot up, and that's why that goal basically happened.
Yeah, Dan Cloutier, by the way, another goalie that every Ranger fan romanticizes about for some reason. He fought Tommy Salo.
And tried to fight the entire Islander bench.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. He's the greatest goalie of all time in their opinion. It just ridiculous. Anyway,
there are still people that say Richter's better than Lundqvist for whatever reason.
Even objectively, you can't say that. But all right. So I guess just to cement it, no, you know what? I'm going Lidstrom on Cloutier. That
was a clapper from center right. Geeky's a backhand flip. How do you?
But it's a straight. It did dip, but it's a shot.
Yeah,
you should still.
I get it.
You see him lose track of it midway through. I mean, he had a clean look.
There's no.
I can't nationalize that.
There's no wrong answer here. There really isn't.
There really isn't.
Equally bad in their own way. I think if I'm a goalie, I would rather face the Lidstrom shot. But the Rasmus Anderson shot maybe that's an easier save, just because the closest one to an actual shot is the Lidstrom one. Let's establish that right now, and because that's objectively the case. But Morgan,
was that 21? Was that? By the way, sorry, was that one from Rasmus Anderson? Wasn't that 22, 20, 21, 22? Not 22, 23?
I thought hold on. I thought that was 22-23. I could be wrong.
All right.
Because it was against Calgary.
Yeah, it was against Calgary. It was with Calgary. It was against Edmonton.
Rasmus Anderson was with Calgary. Yeah.
Okay. But Mike Smith was, never mind. We're moving on to the next question anyway. Because Anthony, let me ask you this. What team down 0-2 can come back to win, in your opinion?
Yeah. All right.
I don't think it's Pittsburgh with the White Phillies playing, and they're on the road. I mean, LA, they are playing Colorado tough, and they are going home, but they're not beating Colorado. So for me, I gotta go. I gotta go Ottawa. They've played some tight games. Carolina is a much harder team to play against at home than they are on the road. Just with how they play and how the fans are there in the playoffs, and they're shooting from everywhere, and they're on you on the road. They're not as hard to play against, and Ottawa has been in these games, and they are going home. So for me, I'm gonna say it's Ottawa.
Mm-hmm. Phil, is it Ottawa for you?
Yeah, I don't see LA, and this is kind of just process of elimination, kind of like how Anthony just laid it out. I don't see Colorado losing to LA. I don't think LA has enough offensive firepower, even though they've made the games tough for Colorado. I don't see it. Right, and not only to look at this, but Ottawa was literally a Tim Stützle post away from having that series tied 1-1. Just remember that. Stützle had a breakaway and hit the post, and he had Anderson beat. So I'm definitely gonna go with Ottawa here. I know that Carolina is very tough at home, especially when they have the matchups in their favor. They get the matchups that they want, but something tells me that Ottawa has another gear in them that they can get to. And seeing Tim Stützle play the defense the way that he's played defense in this series so far, when that's kind of been a knock on him for most of his career, tells me that these guys have bought in. So they want it. It's just a matter of can they execute on ice. So because Carolina, they've been good, but Ottawa has found a way to break their system. Once you find a way to break their system and break through that pressure and those waves of pressure that they bring on the forecheck and get out of the zone effectively and quickly, that's when you know you can beat that Carolina team. So let's see what happens when the matchups change when they go back to Carolina, but they're the team that I think has the best chance.
Yeah, it's a clean sweep on this one because it has to be Ottawa because they could have brought it back, tied 1-1. The game was a little bit better for them in game one where they got shut out, but it looks like they can possibly take the next two games, go back to Carolina, maybe get an upset in game 5, and then go from here. This actually ties back to the last question for a second. Are the Sabres riding with Alex Lyon in the next game? You see a goal like that the UPL lets in. And Anthony, what do you think? Should you go with Alex Lyon?
No, I think they're going to go back to UPL. I think if he struggles again in game 3, I think then you go to Lyon, but I don't think they're going to abandon him just from, one bad game. Just my opinion.
And Phil, are they riding Alex Lyon or stick with UPL?
Do we really hold that 10 to 15 minute stretch against UPL? Last game, and really and just basically denounce everything he did in game 1. I don't know if I can do that. I don't. But the one thing that I know is that Alex Lyon has stepped up in some big moments and played some big hockey at multiple points of his career. So if they have to go to Alex Lyon out of all the goaltending situations that are out there, I think they may have the best one. So like if you have to call on a backup, they might be in the best position. I mean, think about it. What do you got going on in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, you're not doing that. You could go to Schwab. He's got experience.
Do you trust Casey DeSmith and to come in lieu of Jake Ottinger? I mean, no. I don't. Carolina, Kochetkov, is that who's the Bussy? Bussy's not even playing. They went with Anderson over Bussy. What does that tell you about Bussy?
Tells you he's had a sub 900 save percentage since he came back from the Olympic break. That's what it tells me.
I mean, listen, if anything, Alex Lyon has done the most in big spots of any of the backup goalies right now. So I feel the best with him as a backup.
But this is also what we talk about with you have two goalies, you don't have one. If as soon as a mistake is made, start looking over your shoulder.
But I literally just said I'm going with UPL.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying in general, like the goalie itself, he's going to start looking at the bench. If he's looking at the bench, metaphorically speaking, he's looking at the bench, he's not looking at the puck. Then you got, I mean, you look at the goals last night. Yes, the Geeky goal was bad, but the two Arvidsson goals, you don't fault him for. And the third goal was a deflection that went in. Like, I'm riding UPL. I'm riding him to the end, and I'm telling him, you're my goalie. That's it. Don't mess around with your goalies. Just make sure. No, and again, I'm going to bring this up with the Avalanche. Everybody's going to say the Avalanche had two goalies win 6 games. So what? That was injury. You know your goalie. Leave him in net. Don't start rotating him because then their heads aren't clear. So, Phil, let's go back to you. What team badly needed a game to win? And did they get it or they lost? That factors
Pittsburgh needed it badly. I think they needed it more than any other team out there, and they did not get it. The one thing I said about Pittsburgh before the start of the series, I'm pretty sure I said it on here, was that that Pittsburgh, in order for them to beat Philadelphia, they would have needed to get out early to an early lead and a big lead and trying to kind of crush them. The longer this series went, the more it favored the Flyers because of their younger legs and their speed and their energy and their conditioning. Because Pittsburgh's got a bigger, slower, and older core that they're dealing with. And now Pittsburgh is going to have to play from behind against a team that has been dogging them the first 2 games. And they don't have a great option in net. They've got a guy who's had a lot of playoff trouble in net. So this is not where Pittsburgh wants to be right now. They needed that more than anybody, and they did not get it.
Oddly enough, by the way, that playoff trouble, he then responded sometimes with like back-to-back shutouts. He's done that recently as well. Anthony, what team badly needed
job done?
Yeah, it's Pittsburgh. They absolutely, they were at home. Worst possible outcome for them. They dropped both at home. You know, especially being the fact that the saying goes, you're not in trouble until you lose a game at home. And Pittsburgh lost both of them. And now they're going on the road. So yeah, this is a layup for me. This would be if it was Bartok for Penguins.
For me, actually, I'm actually going to go away from you guys. I'm going to go with Dallas. Dallas, you lose that game 6-1. It didn't look good. There were bad bounces galore. So the puck luck didn't even go their way. And then, you know, you come out, you win that game. You badly needed to win that game because I think if they go down 0-2 to Minnesota, I think maybe they could split in Minnesota, maybe at best. And you might end up getting another game in Dallas, but you might lose that game. So I think Dallas had to win that game. They did. Now it's a series. Now it's a best of 5. Minnesota's got the home ice advantage. And all it takes is Dallas to win tonight, and they got the advantage right back. I know, no shit, everybody, but still, it's just saying it for the record. Anthony, what series tied at 1 has your full attention or your attention?
Is this saying like in the sense of like I'm surprised by it, or just the
what? How about your curiosity? Which
right.
you look at the series, go, wow.
I was gonna say all of the series that are 1-1, none of that surprises me. So all right. I guess in that case, I'm gonna go Montreal and Tampa. I think it's a series that I think is sort of like a coin flip. I mean, they're both very, very good teams. I think I had this series going 7 if I remember correctly. I'd have to scroll up, but yeah, for me, this is just great hockey. It's going to be a battle to the end. You know, so I had Tampa in 6, but I think this is going to be a long series. I think it's going to be fun, high octane offenses. You know, it's definitely got physicality to it. They don't like each other. You can tell. You know, so for me, it's this series with Utah and Vegas being a close second.
Yeah, Phil, which one has got your attention?
Utah and Vegas. I want to see how Utah responds to Vegas's pushback in Game 3. Like if we're talking specifically right now and just what's going to happen in the next game, I want to see how much of a bloodbath that game is going to become. And I know that people are going to be gunning for Logan Cooley, especially Nick Dowd.
Yeah.
I want to see how Logan Cooley handles the physical play that's going to be coming at him. Dylan Guenther. We talked about Porter Martone taking the game by the balls and just running with it. Dylan Guenther is doing the same thing in Utah right now. He just doesn't care. He every time they're on the power play, he wants the puck. He wants the shot. He literally wants that Ovechkin one-timer. And you see his goal last night?
Yeah, beauty.
Oh my God, dude. That's one of the best shots I've seen in the playoffs so far.
He really shoots.
Absolutely twisted, absolute piss missile. So, yeah, I'm going Utah and Vegas because I think you may have the makings of a long-term rivalry being planted like right here as we speak.
I think both of you guys are right. That's the best part is I can go off the board right now and go Boston versus Buffalo. Now we're into the experience versus first time and your energy there. You're seeing sort of like the last time Lindy Ruff was in the playoffs. It was Devils versus Rangers. They got swamped the first 2 games and absolutely dog walked out of their own building. What did they do? They played a tight 2-1 game, ended up winning in overtime. Again, Igor Shesterkin punching Timo Meier helped get to the power play goal that led to that overtime. Granted, it was in the second period. But then Lindy Ruff made some adjustments, and then that was all she wrote in that series. Let's see what Lindy can do right here, make some adjustments. And also, can they solve Jeremy Swayman? In Game 1, they did. They were able to come back, and he was locked in. Game 2, he was locked in. They put 2 in the back of the net, and I think it was with the minute remaining, they got down to 4-2. But cut out the mistakes, and we'll see what Buffalo could do. They were the number 1 seed for a reason. Let's see if they can show us all why they were number 1. Yeah.
Radish has been great.
Yeah, and Anthony, you're right about that. That series, I actually can't wait to watch the rest of that series. That series is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that series is fun. But I mean, I have to pick another answer aside from that. I knew where Anthony was going with it because he basically laid it out through first half hour of the show so far. But
and we're going to be talking more about it again later.
No, of course. But I will say that anybody who's not watching Utah and Vegas, start watching that series.
And it's funny to say it because I had this thought, and maybe you guys could correct me if I'm wrong before I move on to the next question. Kucherov really needed that goal to tie the game.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like, specifically, it had to be Kucherov because his first venture post-Stamkos, whether or not – obviously, he was a great player when Stamkos was there on the team but injured and couldn't play. But – in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we know what Kucherov is. But last year didn't look so great against the Panthers. Now he puts that goal in, ties the game. You saw some emotion out of him after he tied it, and now look at where Tampa is, tied 1-1, going back to Montreal instead of 0-2, where it would have been a lot worse. Because Filk, going to you on this one. Which series do you declare over?
I don't know if I can. It's only one series that really sticks out to me, and I think we're probably all going to agree on this. Funny enough, so we're just going to sound like we're repeating the same shit over and over again. But I think it's LA and Colorado. I just don't think LA has enough offense. I don't. I mean, Kevin Fiala would help, but their center depth is just not good enough. Anze Kopitar is running on fumes. He can't shut those guys down. Quentin Byfield just hasn't been the guy that he's needed to be. Panarin's really their only source of any type of offense. I don't see how it happens. I know a lot of people are saying, Pittsburgh and Philly, Carolina and Ottawa. I don't think that's over yet. I don't. I don't. I do think Carolina will win the series, but I don't think it's over. I just think with LA, there's just not enough there. They just do not have the depth. With Pittsburgh and Philly, you can never count out Crosby and Malkin. You can't. Even though they're doing a great job on Crosby right now, Malkin looked invisible in game 2 after having a decent game 1. I don't think that's necessarily over. I think if Philly goes up 3-0, it's absolutely over. Absolutely over, and I'd be shocked if it went more than 5 at that point. But again, Ottawa was a Tim Stützle post away from making it 1-1. Got to remember that. You got to remember that it was a breakaway, and it hit the post, and it went out the other side. So they were close. So I don't think it's Carolina and Ottawa. I think if Ottawa starts cashing in and they start playing a little more disciplined in their own zone, which they tightened up last game quite a bit after being a little loosey-goosey in game 1. But they tightened it up quite a bit, and the Canes really started feeling the pushback. Ottawa, I know that the deserve to win meter doesn't really amount for much, but Ottawa deserved to win that game in game 1 and game 2. They deserved to win that game. They played better from the first period on. And you know what? They lost. That's how it happens. Now we're going to see how Ottawa responds.
Anthony, is there a series you want to declare over?
I mean, yeah, like Phil said, I think we're all kind of thinking at least Colorado's going to beat LA. LA's not beating Colorado. Yeah, they might win. Maybe they win a game, but Colorado's they're just superior, and they're going to win the series. So I don't necessarily think it's just because it's 2-0. I just think everyone was picking Colorado for a good reason, because they're a much better hockey team, and I think being the fact that they're up 2-0 to boot, they're going to eventually get it done. So yeah, I think the Avalanche are certainly beating LA.
Yeah. This is Vince Carter at the slam dunk competition, just going, it's over. It's over. I think LA gave them their best 2 shots, and I really think Artemi Panarin's had a great series. But that's also when hey, no shit. But they just can't do it, because I think the game plan was to try to slow down Colorado, and Colorado said, you want to play low event hockey? We can play low event hockey. And that's why Colorado it's a matter of time. And I still am not sure how many games this goes, even though I predicted a sweep, but you might see that again soon enough, because there's a good question I have coming up in a second. But
I literally thought you were going to say this was Vince Carter on Frederick Weiss in the 2000 Olympics for a second.
Oh yeah, well, you know what? That's
where I thought you were going with that. I'm going to start laughing.
That's what we expected that this series to be. Instead, this has been them holding their own. This is more like I'm trying to stay with the Vince Carter analogy, but that's coming to mind. As far as the other 2 series go, that right now are 0-2, and who knows what's going to happen tonight with the Ducks and the Oilers. We'll find out more about that in about 12 hours. But yeah, the 2 things I want people to remember is, obviously, you still got to shut down Crosby and Malkin, 2 of the greatest players in NHL history, on one side, no matter how good Philly has looked. And Dan Vladar has looked very good in the playoffs. We got to give him all the credit.
Yeah.
Him. But the other thing to mention is, don't ever, ever underestimate Carolina's ability to let their opponents up off the mat. Like, they sit there and they will wallop you, knock you down, and then you're going to go, oh wait, I could get up. It's like Punch Out, where You think you got it won. The next thing you know, you get that slow animation. The guy gets back up, and then the next thing you know, you're getting knocked out like little Mac, and he's all purple. But sorry, it was pink. But like Carolina's done this before. They gone out up 0-2 versus Boston. They did it to the Rangers in 2022. So and so many times the series ends up going 7 or so. One thing I'll credit Carolina on, and sadly, Pete's not around to hear this one right now, but they'll also be able to get up themselves, like they did the last 0-3 series against the Rangers with the nearly forced game 7. So, Anthony, I got to ask you this question, and it really pains me that I have to ask this question. Which team wins first, the LA Kings or the New York Mets?
I mean, I think it's going to be the Mets. I mean, I know LA is going back home, and that's good, but there's still a possibility they get swept. I mean, Colorado is just the better team, so I guess they'll stick with the Mets.
Well, the Mets are going to have 2 cracks before LA gets their chance on Thursday night. Phil, which team wins first?
I don't know, but I had to highlight this one because this is great. This is great. Thank you, Maria.
The hoop or the secondary hoop has not made an appearance yet, babe.
Yeah. I'm gonna say the New York Mets. I think LA gets swept. I don't see it. I don't know if LA has the pieces to get Matthews. Honestly,
there's a couple suitors for Matthews. We're gonna try to let the season play out. Hopefully, it could get into the off season to where Matthews could go.
The Rangers have won a game more recently than the Mets, which is crazy. But yes,
Josh,
I'm gonna go with the Mets because I don't think LA is winning a game against Colorado. I just don't. Like Anthony said, Colorado is literally, or was it you that said it, Mark? That Colorado's like, yeah, we could play low event hockey too.
Yeah,
Mark. Yeah,
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. But yeah, they're going to go and show that they could play low event hockey with a team like LA and really kind of change their game around a bit and adapt. That's scary. So I'm going the Mets. I'm sorry.
I'm a Met fan, and I can't help but say these words. I'm not sure if they're ever going to win a game again. I can say this, that LA went through a mighty tough stretch and fired their coach. Hint, hint. So maybe, I don't know, kind of kooky to me. When your team loses a dozen in a row, you fire the damn manager, especially when you have goals for the World Series. Thank you very much. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. As a matter of fact, if it does, we'll shove you down the stairs. So I'm just, Mendoza, get out of town.
Shove you down the stairs. What's wrong with you?
Well, you know what? It's just, there are people that I bought into and I believed in, like David Quinn in his first real season with the Rangers, second season with the Rangers, where I'm like, hey, this guy might be a pretty good coach. By year 3, I'm going, no. What was I thinking? I was drunk. I was stupid. I don't know what I was thinking. Well, here we are. And Mendoza right now, what is it, year 4? And just get him out. Just get out. You were the worst team in MLB since last year. Since last June, I'm sorry. Okay, guys, this is sort of an easy discussion for us being on a hockey channel, but let's have it anyway. Is this more proof that the Stanley Cup playoffs are the best playoffs in sports? Anthony, I'll start with you.
I mean, yeah, for me, this yes, absolutely. I don't even know why it's being discussed. Like, I know the NFL is obviously much more popular, and football fans are going to say that football playoffs, And it's cool. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, I love football time come the playoffs, but there's nothing like hockey. It's a grueling 7-game series all the way through. The physical, the toll takes on you physically, especially from all the abuse from the 82-game season you endure right beforehand. It's got everything. It's got everything. It's the best, the best trophy in sports. For me, this isn't even a discussion.
Yeah, Phil, is it just no brainer? It's the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to ask Maria to get the hoop because that's literally what this is. It's just an absolute layup right now. This is an alley oop to Blake Griffin, Lob City, peak LA Clippers days right now. So let me ask you something. Anthony, have you been on the winning end of a double or triple overtime winner in your lifetime?
Double? No.
You've seen Dave Volek win upset the Pittsburgh Penguins in overtime, though.
Yeah.
What
Wasn't
other
Jordan
feeling
Eberle a triple
they're
overtime?
like-
Hold on. I mistook the question. I thought you were asking me physically playing in a game.
No. I mean, watching.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. For just what, yeah. I mean, I've seen overtime winners for sure. Alan Quine against Florida, double overtime.
Yeah, in 2016, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, what other feeling is there?
No,
What other roller coaster is there like when you go from the anxiety of sheer heartbreak, sheer possible heartbreak and depression, to absolute euphoria?
Yeah.
Yes, there it is. There it is.
Yeah.
When you go from sheer possible heartbreak and depression to sheer euphoria and joy when your team scores a double or triple overtime winner. I will never forget Game 3 against Washington in 2012. Marian Gaborik at like 12:20 in the morning.
Yeah.
I was watching at my friend Keith's house. Anthony knows Keith. And we were watching that game live. And we woke up his father. We were in Keith's apartment, which was an extension of the house. We were in Keith's apartment watching that game, and we woke up his father, who had to go to work at 3 a.m. in the morning, and his father came in and yelled at us afterwards after that happened. And I will just never, ever forget that. Triple overtime went absolutely bonkers. Dennis wanted to kill both of us, but it was one of the better games I've watched. So, yeah, that feeling, that roller coaster, nothing like it.
There's few things in sports that are quite beautiful, but sudden death, I'm sorry, never sudden victory. It's sudden death, because you have to have so much concentration to keep, like Olaf Kolzig said one time, back when him and the Penguins played a 4 OT game him and the Capitals played against Penguins, 4 OT game that went until like the early hours of the morning, and Peter Nedved won it in overtime. But somebody asked him, how do you keep your concentration in that moment? And Kolzig said, it's simple. You let one in and the game's over. So that's what happens when you have the Stanley Cup playoffs. We talked about the Cole Perfetti goal with the second remaining. And don't get me wrong, baseball, I think, shows what the drama of the playoffs is, and every sport does that in their individual game. While we're talking about trying to get 1 to 8 back, I love the divisional format. I love the fact that these teams are just divisional opponents, and it's knockout, just a heavyweight bout every single night. So getting through that. Then people want, there's you just have a play-in tournament, just like the NBA. No, don't keep that crap away from hockey, because that just waters it down. The basketball is Charles Barkley is calling it boring, and thank God for hockey. That's Charles Barkley. I think football's still got a great format with the bye week, and now you got so many other things, but there are things that take away from football, especially the fact that everything's on streaming. But then you have baseball, which added that ridiculous first round. And I think baseball was better when it was the 2 wild cards played, and then that wild card played the best team in the league, and then you went on from there. But you saw the World Series last year between the Dodgers and the Blue Jays. That was amazing. It's still hockey. It's because they got the crown jewel. They have sudden death overtime, and you can have the game go on for hours, like Pittsburgh and the Flyers that played 5 overtimes until just Keith Primo makes a good move and then a great
I literally just said that in the chat.
Yeah.
It was like 1 a.m. in the morning when he ended that game with that incredible wrist shot, dude.
It's not just the fact that they have sudden death overtime, Mark. It's the fact that it's hockey. It's got everything. It's fast. It's physical. It's got every element you have. I mean, baseball, it's not a physical sport. Don't get me wrong, playoff baseball is more exciting than regular season baseball, but it's, there's nothing that touches playoff hockey. It's just when you combine everything, it's nothing. Like Phil's the roller coaster of emotions, especially when you are talking about overtime. I remember the Anthony Beauvillier goal in Game 6 at the Coliseum to send it to Game 7 against Tampa. That's one I'm gonna remember for the rest of my life. And my other favorite one was Tavares ending the 23-year playoff drought with not winning a playoff series in overtime with the wraparound.
Peter Klima after a blackout in 1988,
I
think that was, or was his 90?
Sorry.
So
but Anthony, the wraparound to win it.
Yeah, the wraparound to win against Florida. Those two are probably my favorite overtime moments. But yeah, just in that you're watching, a bounce goes the wrong way, and you're heartbroken, and on the flip side, it's pure euphoria. So yeah.
And you've actually seen it both ways, where you've had the Easter epic that happened in your lifetime. So you got 4 overtimes there.
Yeah,
and
but that was what, 87?
88, I thought it was.
88, yeah, I was 3.
Yeah, that was 80. I'm sorry. I thought it was
still in your lifetime, so you still would know that. I mean, I was 10, so that's
yes, I was alive, but I only remember it from the footage. I don't.
Well, the opposite of that would have been John Tavares' overtime winner against the Capitals in Game 3,
which I was there for. I was at that game. That was awesome too.
Like, did you even get back to your seat yet?
Yeah, that's the thing about it. You want overtimes to end because the longer it goes, just the more stressful it gets. So I was so grateful that ended quickly.
And no beer sales either.
What?
And no beer sales. So
that's a good game to be at. I was at Marty San Luis Game 4 winner in the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals, and when I tell you that building fucking shook. That building shook.
Yes, it did. And that was a great game in general. Here's another question to throw out to you guys right now. And Anthony, I'll start with you. Is it better to watch the playoffs when your team is not involved?
I mean, no. You want your team playing. As stressful as it is, you want your team playing in the playoffs. Yes, there is something to be said to be able to watch with no rooting interest, and you don't have that stress feeling. That is nice, but I would trade that for being stressed in the second. I know it sucks in the moment, but you strive for your team to be in the playoffs every year with the opportunity to win a Stanley Cup. So no, it's absolutely better when your team's in.
Phil, what do you think?
No. I mean, you'd rather. I mean, with that said, I'd rather the Rangers be in the playoffs. I've been to playoff hockey, and that 2014 run was a lot. I went to like 6 games, I think, in that run, or it was like, no, I'm sorry, I went to 5 games in that run. I went to games 1 and 2 against Philly, game 3 against Pittsburgh, and they got absolutely destroyed. I went to games 4 and 6 against Montreal. And then I went to game 5 against Pittsburgh the following year when Hagelin knocked out Pittsburgh in Game 5, which, funny enough, he scored on the same exact shot in the same exact location in the Zibanejad 5-goal game. If you goal in that game, it's the same exact shot, same exact location. But I tell you right now, I would rather be at a playoff overtime thriller, and I mean, I've got to be at 2 of them. But yeah, I will say this: out of all the 4 sports to watch where your team is not in the playoffs, the NHL is the best one.
Yeah,
it's the best one, like, by far, and it's not even close.
This is a tough one for me, and I think it just comes down to this. It's the same thing as just making a $20 bet with your friend, whether or not it's golf or that I'm probably going to lose $20 tomorrow. But it's as soon as you got a little bit of a rooting interest in it, that's where it's just the euphoria that you feel when your team scores, whether it's Brad Richards tying the game with 6.6 seconds remaining, or the debilitating feeling of when your team is scored on that situation, like Chris Drury and Valerie Zeller-Pukin, 7 seconds remaining versus the Rangers. But then you do get to appreciate things that, like the Cole Perfetti goal. I'll still talk about that for the rest of my life. That I watched it and I'm like, this series, oh my goodness. And there's so many things that you love about this sport, and you get to feel it. But man, that elation from despair that the NHL can give you, it can never be replicated, not in any other sport. And it's like the only other thing I could ever think of in NFL history would be that Seahawks Green Bay playoff game where Matt Hasselbeck said, we want the ball and we want to score. And I think it was the first play from scrimmage. He throws a pick 6 to Al Harris, and and that's it. That's all she wrote. Green Bay wins. So it's just OT winners are the best things in all sport. By the way, actually, Phil kind of asked this before, Anthony. Let me ask you: do you ever have an OT playoff winner in your playing career, or an OT winner in, I guess, in the regular season?
Trying to think. I do believe there was, yes, this Filk actually played on the team with me briefly, the Fighting Irish. There was one year where I don't know if it was a tying goal I scored late or a game winner, but yeah, I think I have. I just can't get it in my head for sure.
I do know that he had like a 5 or 6 goal game, and we were playing in a roller hockey playoff, and he literally went off and scored like 6 goals in this one game, and the dude on the other bench literally yelled out, "Somebody fucking stop Ovechkin," because he had the tinted visor and the yellow laces at the time. It's probably like 2006, I would say this was, or 2007 maybe, but somewhere in that time frame. And that was one of the funnier things I've been involved with. But I don't think I've ever scored an overtime winner in a playoff, but I did score a game winner in a championship game. And it was at the same place that Anthony and I played at. I was playing with this guy, Keith. He came in and he played with our team for a few games. And in the championship game, he fed me a pass where we kind of cross and dropped at like their blue line, at the middle of the blue line. And then right off the drop pass, when we crossed over, he hit me with a pass, and I absolutely roofed it in the top of the net, and that won us the championship in a best-of-3 final series. So that was pretty cool.
I've got a ton of OT winners in the regular season. I know I have a playoff shootout tying goal, but I don't think I have an OT winner in a playoff game, because very, very rarely have we gone to the playoffs and all the teams. The overtime in the playoffs and all the teams I played on. So that's kind of one thing that I'm missing. Really need to kind of get that. But then in order to do that, we have to go to overtime, and that's stressful enough. I've lost a championship in double overtime, so I can tell you that's That's no fun. All right, guys, we're going to move on. We're going to do some NHL bar talk and talk more about the playoffs.
Let's kick it into high pace. Grab your mates, it's time to unlock NHL bar talk.
Layup, get the damn hoop.
We go shot here.
The easiest I've heard to answer.
I'm actually going to go crazy. I'm going to buy everybody around.
We're all in this game, let the good times shake.
My guy just looks so dorky. I will always go back and just think that. I got to correct that one of these times. But welcome back, everybody, to Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk. We're gauging our confidence on these NHL topics based on our choice of drink. So confident that you're buying around. So have a beer or, oh, God, I need a shot. Put your comments down below and play along, guys. And because I shill for us, we'll get an actual sponsor at some point. But Wing Wednesday over at Boss Croakers is tonight. 40-cent wings, $2 tacos, $4 Miller Lights and Yinglings. Come on down. And also, hey, there's going to be some Knicks playoff basketball. So why not come on down and have a great time tonight? Say hello to Santiago and Mikey. We don't have a Rangers bar talk for right now. Maybe we'll fill one in at the end. Maybe we won't. But let's go right to the New York Islanders, which you look at one guy on the Islanders, Matt Barzal. He's just under a point per game, 72 points this season on 19 goals, 53 assists, plus 10 rating. That I want to highlight that because even though I know some people go plus minus whatever, I think plus minus is still a valuable statistic. But Anthony, he's got a modified no trade clause. The Islanders should move on from Matt Barzal.
I mean, this is kind of like a loaded question because, I mean, which we've discussed before. Like, yes, if you could trade him in a deal and you can get a Jason Robertson or Austin Matthews, then yeah, sure, I would. I wouldn't say no. I would do that. But you're not. One thing I know they're not going to do. They're not just going to trade him for like picks or prospects. That's just not going to happen. They're trying to win. They're building. They're not going to all of a sudden subtract them. So for me, I mean, I'm gonna say shot with the caveat of unless you can get, you could trade him in a, get Matthews, Robertson, etc. Other than that, there's no incentive for them to trade Matt Barzal. They would become significantly worse, and they're not on that path. They're trying to, they're trying to win. So yeah, for me, this is a shot.
Phil, what do you think?
Beer. I'm going to go beer. They should explore different things. Just because of the fact that I just don't. I know Anthony's argument is what if they were to go and get a guy like a Robertson or something like that? What could you unlock from Barzal? I just don't know if this guy's a winner. I don't. I'm not saying that he can't be. I'm not saying that he's a bad player or anything like that. I will stand firm in my $10 million talent, 10-cent head stance on him. I think there's too much talent for him to lack the overall offensive hockey IQ, because again, he's a great playmaker. He can get you 50 assists in a season, 55, maybe even 60 assists in a season, which is great. But there are just times where he just holds on to the puck for too long, does too much with it, overlooks chances that he has to either make a play or shoot the damn puck. And I think if he were to shoot the puck more and trust his shot more, then maybe there's a level that he could possibly unlock. But I just don't know if he is somebody that you can really build your offense around. I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's the ace. And tell me I'm wrong on this, Anthony, if I am. But I just don't see him as your guy you build your entire offense around. I think he's more of a number two, depending on how much talent you have, maybe even a number three guy. And again, then you got to have a lot of talent to have him as a number three. But he's more so a number two guy, that you have that guy who is really the true play driver, and then he comes in and he helps out. So if I could find somebody at a similar salary, or maybe even a little more, that I know is going to give me 90 to 100 plus points a year, why would I not make that deal?
Well, yeah, I'm with you there. That's why I say, yeah, if you can get an upgrade, yes, but I don't. That's probably very, very hard to do. So I don't see it.
That's why I say Beer. I don't know where that is. Like, are you going to send him back to Toronto on a Matthews deal? Like, if you want to do that, then yeah, by all means, you do that. You'd be like, you've seen what he's done here. He has been here for almost 10 years. Like, do you think he's going to be anywhere near the player that Matthews would be for the rest of his career? I personally don't think so. And I think Matthews is a much better defensive player too, on top of that. So I only go Beer just because I think you know what you have. And I think you move on at some point.
He's got a 22 team no trade list. That's going to be really hard. I also, because we had this discussion at the bar, every Islander fan said the same thing. And I understand the frustration Islander fans can have with him. Especially when you saw him come in, 85 points it was 85 or 84, Anthony, his first
85,
season.
his rookie year.
It was 85. His first season. And you're thinking he's going to light up everything. Barry Trotz kind of reins him in, and he's still very successful throughout his career. And you kind of wish he would shoot the puck more, but even he said it. I shoot on these NHL goaltenders all the time. I don't have a good enough shot. But then again, you're shooting on Ilya Sorokin. So that's part of the problem. Maybe that's where his lack of confidence comes in. This is one of those, we'd probably end up talking about this anyway during the Islanders wrap-up show that we're going to have coming soon. But this is where the hard part comes in. I just don't know if the grass is greener. That's what the hard part is. He's 28 years old. He's still in his prime. He's actually healthy this season as opposed to last season. I kind of like what the Islanders have with him. I'm actually going to go shot with Anthony on this. I think, and again, the caveat is if you can, because I think Pete DeBoer can coach him up and make him into like a little bit more of the mold of Matthew Robertson. Yeah. And no, I just said the wrong name. Jason Robertson, not Matthew. That's how much everybody's listening to me. But so you could probably get more of the mold of Robertson out of him. I just don't think I can't believe how nobody reacted to that whatsoever. But still, I think you're better off holding on to Barzell and seeing what you got. And Phil, you're all right. I thought you were frozen for a second.
No, I'm there.
Well, Phil, let's go right to the next one, and let's go back to the guy we've been raving about, Porter Martone. He scored a goal in his first 2 playoff games. He's led the Flyers in shots since he made his NHL debut. A star is born in Porter Martone.
I want to say round, but again, I mean, he hasn't really played much of a regular season. He's going to have to get used to the rigors and the grind of a full 82-game season next year. And and as we saw with Matthew Schaefer and playing 25, 26 minutes a game after after the Olympic break, it can wear on you. It can. I'm not only going to say Beer just because of the fact that I think we're seeing flashes of what he will be one day. But he is going to have to learn how to be a pro, as they call it.
John Tortorella said go through the process.
Go through the process. Like, it just, tell you right now, the skating, I'd have to go back and find my scouting report on, I found it. Because I want to pull it up right now, and I want to see exactly what I wrote about Martone, because this one was a real interesting one for Martone. But Okay, let's see here. I think I have it. Yes. Okay. So, arguably the best playmaker in this draft class has the ability to hold on to the puck for those extra few seconds and find the open man. Deceptively fast skater with a strong and quick burst that can surprise defenders. I did not think his skating would be as good as it is right now. Like when he gets a burst, like he has just strong, powerful legs that can absolutely fly. Now, Chris Kreider and Porter Martone, two completely different players. Chris Kreider could never dream of being the playmaker that Porter Martone is, or having the hands. The shot's close. Chris Kreider's got a great shot. Don't get me wrong. But Martone is a superstar in the making. I just don't know if he's there yet. Like this is amazing. But again, he's going to have to go through a full 82 game season. He'll probably be up for the Calder. He's got to be one of the Calder favorites right now for next year because he didn't have eligibility this year. But Martone, he's going to be one of the best players in the league. I can't say right now that a star is born. Will it be? Yes, in due time. But right now, I'm going to say beer.
Let me put that beer up for you. I forgot if I did that before, but I'll leave that. Take it down and put it right back up because I'm going to say the same thing. Let's not put too much pressure on this kid. But I do have to say this story from Saturday night. Serving a couple drinks at the bar and walking around, and my partner Jimmy looks up at the TV as Martone gets the puck, circles back, and absolutely snipes it on Stuart Skinner. And he just went, wow. Just his eyes shot right open. That's the answer on that. Just wow is the best way to describe it. And that's the best way to describe how Porter Martone's been. It's hard to believe, Phil, and I know I made this comment during our playoff coverage, the playoff preview. It's hard to believe that last year's, quote, weak draft class, he got drafted 7th. And, I mean, after all, James Higgins fell all the way to 8th, and a lot of people thought he was going to go first a year before. It's amazing the players that you can get sometimes and the diamonds in the rough. And he really worked. He was climbing the ladder during the draft time. This kid looks like he's going to be the next great flyer. And it's just pump the brakes, water the plant, let it grow. Don't start picking the fruit off the tree just yet.
That's always a good one too, because of the fact that there was just so much. Again, high draft pick, top 10, I think 8th overall in 2022 with Buffalo.
Buffalo, yeah.
And now he goes to a place where he's going to be playing with Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl for hopefully for his sake for the most of his career. But now again, another young face could be one of the better players for a while.
And we're gonna see how he's gonna do right there. Just gonna wait for Phil to come back on before. I mean, he's probably still there on audio. Just milk this for a minute. I wasn't even trying to make that rhyme. A star is born in Porter Martone, but I guess it actually gets close. Speaking about guys whose stars are shining bright, Phil, Uri Filkowski. Hat-trick in game 1. He went Super Saiyan to absolutely just, it was like Hagel scored, and Hagel, by the way, has a quote saying, I'm embracing being the bad guy in this series. But
as he should.
Yeah, so he's right now, I guess, he's Frieza, if you will, in this situation.
Yeah, he is definitely Frieza right now.
He's Frieza, and Slavkovsky's Goku. And
yeah, basically.
Yeah. And Filkowski just basically said, I got this the rest of the way. And he ends up just when he got that puck in overtime and just stepped right in and just fired it right past.
Yeah. Hagel was like, nah, bro. Hagel knocked him right out.
Yeah. But Uri Filkowski is Montreal's playoff X factor.
That's tough to say.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say he's one of the three most important pieces on offense. I look at Nick Suzuki because Nick Suzuki has 3 points in 2 games, although he's a -3, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
But he's the matchup guy. Jakub Dobesh is probably piece number 2 or 3 for them. Caulfield's another important piece. I'm gonna say Beer. I can't say for sure, but I mean, in order for them to win, Slavkovsky is going to have to channel, like you said, the Olympics, Uri Slavkovsky, and because that was a big coming out for him, I think. Like he looked great after the Olympics coming back. But Slavkovsky is going to have to be a big physical presence that throws his weight around. Maybe he isn't. He doesn't have to be prime Eric Lindros. He doesn't have to be peak 1995, 96 Eric Lindros, where he's running around hitting everything and scoring. But he's got to be somebody who uses his size and his body weight effectively to win battles, to shield off defenders, and to create plays. Like that's got to be Slavkovsky. And if he can do that, yes, he can be their X factor. But there's a lot of responsibility on Nick Suzuki at both ends of the ice. And then there's a lot of responsibility on Jakub Dobesh and net. So, because Sam Montembeau hasn't been the guy, Jacob Fowler is the backup. I mean, now, if Dobesh falls, you have to go to Fowler, who's relatively unproven. So, yeah, there's an argument for it, but overall, I can't say ground. I got to say
this one's a tough one because I don't want to just say it's Slavkovsky, which in a way is a layup. Jim has been saying, or Jim Behringer has been saying that he's the playoff X factor for the Canadians. So it does make sense to say that. The hard part for me is it really somebody further down that lineup? Josh Anderson's got a pair of goals already in the series. He does.
Josh Anderson has got to be their physical presence. He's got to lead the charge physically.
Right. And he comes and goes in the playoffs. He's just always done that.
Uncle Larry would be loving that, by the way, right now. He loved Josh Anderson.
I mean, it's there's a lot of other X factors. Maybe Caden Gooley has got to be more of a physical presence. He had a couple big hits in game 1. Yeah, I'm actually, you know what? I'll go Beer on it because I can't definitively say it's Slavkovsky, but man, if he is the best player on the ice, then Montreal has won this in spades. Because if he's that guy that showed up in the Olympics and he's able to do that in a Stanley Cup playoffs, I feel bad for the league. That's how bad I feel for them because he's just going to embarrass everybody and just make it all look silly. And I mean, that's why this kid has got a bright future. And you look at the size of, geez. All right. One guy that hasn't been able to do anything in the playoffs because he's been out is Rupe Hintz. He's out for game 3. He's doubtful for Saturday's game 4. And this series is tied 1-1, Filk. The Dallas-Minnesota series hinges on the Rupe Hintz injury.
Shot, especially with Dallas coming back the way that they came back last night. To make it a 2-1-1 series. I'm sorry, not last night, but Monday night. Sorry. But yeah, I don't think it hinges on that injury. I do think Dallas is going to get a massive shot in the arm when Rupe Hintz comes back. I mean, that's a top 6 center right there that you're looking at. I would really say he's their number 2 right now, with the emergence of Wyatt Johnston becoming a real good two-way center that could put up 40 goals. So he's their number 2. That gives them the depth that Minnesota just does not have at center. And you know what? Hats off to Minnesota for playing as well as they have. I mean, Dallas just got Miro Heiskanen kind of back from an injury, and he looked like he was kind of tepid in game 1. He looked a lot better in game 2. So I don't think it's solely Rupe Hintz. I think Miro Heiskanen, him playing better, is going to go a long way for Dallas, because you're talking about one of the top 10 defensemen in the league, maybe even 5. I mean, you could argue him like right there, just outside of the top 5 at this point, I would say. So, but it's not solely Rupe Hintz. So it's shot for me.
Yeah. I'm going to give you basically a similar answer, but I'm also going to say it's Beer. Only because
I'm actually with Dwayne on this too.
Yeah. And Rantanen, yeah, because I think also that goes with the tepid nature you're talking about, because it's harder to back check than it is to forecheck.
Well, no, that I was talking about with Heiskanen. Rantanen is just like what Mikko Rantanen is weird. Like, there are some games, like Dwayne pointed out there, where he's a two-way demon. And then there are other games where he's just loafing out there.
Yeah. And see, that's a good one that hinges on Quinn Hughes. The reason why I'm going to go with I'm only saying Beer for Rupe Hintz is there's so many other factors in this series. We already mentioned the goaltending. We already mentioned that how deep both these teams are. You talked about Wyatt Johnson before, and by the way, it would be nice if like your team scouted Wyatt Johnson's team when he was draft eligible, and you drafted Wyatt Johnson instead of Brendan Oppman. Just a thought. But I went on my rant and then I lost myself for a second. There's so many things that could contribute to the series. I think Dallas is good enough to win the series without Hintz. And I also think he comes back, he can be a major X factor. So that's it's sort of like your answer. It's just a little bit more important. Yeah, Quinn Hughes is going to be a huge factor in the series. Home ice is going to be a huge factor in the series because the home team won every game in the regular season, and now the home team is 1-1. For Dallas's sake, they got to hope that's the same thing. All right, and our last one that we're going to talk about for Bar Talk is the Utah Mammoth and the Vegas Golden Knights. Their series is tied at 1. They had 6 lead changes in the first 2 games. 6. Phil, Utah Vegas will go the distance.
Wow. And how do I answer this after pining about this series the way I did earlier on in the show?
Oh yeah.
It's just, this is a tough one because it really kind of depends on what happens in the next game, in game 3. I mean, if that's why I kept saying, like, I think this is the one that I'm really kind of invested in the most right now, because how will Utah respond to Vegas's pushback after losing that game? Like, and just remember, game 1 could have went either way. Utah had them on the ropes in game 1, and they weren't able to cash in when it was 2-1 and kind of take that third goal and have that 2-goal lead. Maybe if that happens, then maybe this is a completely different game. And they had chances to win that game even when it was tied 2-2. So, I'm going to go bold and say round.
Okay.
You know what? Screw it. I might end up looking stupid here, but I just think that Utah is they're not just happy to be there. They want to win this. Like they're just not we're happy we finally made the playoffs. We're great to be here. Yada yada yada. No, they're here. I think I picked Vegas in one of my brackets to win the Stanley Cup. But
Yeah.
I do think that Utah can really give them a run for the money. And it's not just Gunther and Cooley and Sergachev's experience or Ian Cole's experience that come into play. Ian Cole his face really got messed up last night, by the way. That was pretty nasty looking. But Karl Vejmelka, can we talk about how good he's been in this series so far? Like, honestly, his performance out of all the goaltenders in the playoffs right now, you're looking at him. Dan Vladar has been great. And I mean, and then what other goaltenders are you really looking at and saying, like, wow, like, these are the guys that are really Jakub Dobeš, maybe? Like,
Jeremy
Dobeš
Swayman,
really
I've loved the way he's performed in the playoffs so far.
So, I mean, I don't know. But Evan actually brings up a great point. They would have been third in the Pacific, and they're better than a wild card team, which is why the format sucks. I think the format needs to go. I know we're getting some great hockey right now, but the format absolutely needs to go. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go round. I think this is a series where we can see some serious pushback, and maybe Vegas will probably hang on and win. But I think Utah is really going to make some noise and send a message here that they're not to be trifled with going forward.
Ugh. I want to know how far I'm going to push my chips all in. After watching this series, not only am I pushing them in, I guess I'm doing that shove when you just throw all the chips in the middle. Okay, I'm going round on this because this is a back and forth series. The milk has been outstanding, I think. You look at a guy, you go, he's got a 902 save percentage of the series. I don't care. He's made big save after big save. And even though Hart's numbers have been better, Hart's been okay. The factor I'm going with, Phil, I think Torts is going to have them ready to play every game, but there's also that Torts letdown game. You were talking about game 3 being the pivotal game. I think game 4 is more pivotal. Whoever wins game 3, if they don't let up and you let the other team win game 4, then it's going the distance. And not only that, we're going to go to game 7. We're going to go overtime in game 7. I would not be surprised. This is possibly the two most evenly matched up teams in the first round. And just strap yourself in. This is going to be a hell of a series. So can't wait to see what we have in store for that. Anthony was talking about that before, so that's one of the ones that was really attracting to him. And let's take some of your questions, guys, on this.
Well, that's it on the
NHL. Yeah, that's
no. I got a Rangers one in there.
Oh, you did have Rangers one. You got that in there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go back. We do have one more, and here we go. Mika Zibanejad had 34 goals and 44 assists and 78 points this season. And he's enjoyed a very good 2026 side of the calendar. Phil, Mika Zibanejad has turned his career around.
When I look at him and the way that he's played all year, especially after the turn of the calendar year, I see a different Mika Zibanejad than I've seen in the previous 2 seasons. He wasn't terrible in 2024, but you expected more of him. I do think he wants to be here. He's shown that he cares. He won the extra effort award, the Steve McDonald award. And I just think there's, I always look back on what I said about like getting rid of the rot and getting rid of everybody. I think that level of toxicity left Mika Zibanejad. I think he's embraced being a mentor to guys like Alexei Lafreniere and Gabe Perreault. And you've seen that, you've seen flashes of that throughout his career, whether he was talking to Philip Hedl on the bench, or whether he was talking to Lafreniere, or whether he was trying to talk to Chris Kreider about a play and say, hey, this is, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go beer, just because I do think that there is a chance that you might start to see a decline within the next few years. But for right now, yes. So I just, how many more years can you get out of Mika Zibanejad as your number one center? That's really the question that I think has to be asked as of right now. He is 32. Oh, no, sorry. He's 33 now. 33. But how many more good years does he have left? Once you're on the other side of 35, that's really what I worry about. But can a youth infusion help kind of prolong his career a little bit longer? I do think Evan is onto something here about getting rid of Kreider, though. I think that needed to happen because I think they were too attached. I think he was too depressed with Kreider going. And I do think that he's kind of embraced this role that he's in now.
If we're talking about narratives, he's turned it around as far as him being a guy that you want to ship out of town right now. That's for starters, but say this. I'm not sure he's turned it around completely. So I have to go to beer on this one. Why am I saying that? Well, let me look up his stats. This is just from January 1st, everybody. Mika Zibanejad, 22 goals, 26 assists, 48 points. He was a -8, whatever. And he was a 1.2 point per game player. Now, that's good for 16th in the league. That's important to know. And again, point per games matter so much. However, one narrative about him that's dogged him for years is his even strength scoring. He's 16th in even strength production. He's tied for 54th in he was 16th in point production. He's tied for 54th in even strength production. If you want to say he's completely turned it around, he's got to do more 5-on-5. And for that matter, as I'm going to look at this, why don't I just bring up just the Rangers? And this is what should scare everybody. He's got 48 points in total since January 1st, 25 at 5-on-5. Alexei Lafreniere, 37 points, 24 at 5-on-5. So that's good. Gabe Perreault, 22 points, 18 at even strength. And then you go down the list, JT Miller, 31 points, 16 of them at even strength. They need to get guys to be better at even strength. I cannot stress this enough. As a matter of fact, Will Cooley points, all of them have been at even strength. So this is one of those things. It's better effort. He's done better. Let me also say one of those even strength points was a goal that put the Rangers up 1-0 against Boston. They lost that game 10-2. there's just a lot more stuff that needs. Just saying for the record.
You know what? Here, I'm sorry. I just want to say one thing about that real quick. I feel like it's kind of nitpicking to point that part out. Like, I get what you're like. Overall, your point is a very fair point, and I do agree with you. They need more even strength producers, but honestly, who really is producing at a high rate on that team in even strength? And then on top of that, why are we going and pointing out one specific point in a bad game in which nobody showed up?
Right. Well, the reason why I point that out is because sometimes it ends up being a meaningless point. So when you give credit to something like that, it ends up being.
Hold on here. All right, now you just opened up a whole can of worms.
Oh, so God!
Is what he did from January 1st on, is that entirely meaningless then, since they've been out of the playoffs since God knows when?
I'm going to go with no. And I think this is where
hold on. Okay. So now you have to answer this.
Yes.
Why is it that that's not entirely meaningless, but we're going to talk about meaningless points?
Okay, maybe it's unfair to bring it up, but let me go with this. This is where the narrative comes into play. Now, last year, okay, I know.
Gabe's right too.
That's true too. So anyway, let's go with this one. Last year, I couldn't run him out of town faster. He looked like he was absolutely just miserable being here, and that he was part of the problem, not any of the solution. Now it looks like body language. He's having fun. He's embraced being a mentor. And he actually is kind of showing the leader you thought he could have been all along. So, because right now, if you ask me, I would take that C off of JT Miller and put it on Mika Zibanejad.
I would too. I wouldn't think twice about it.
And it has nothing to do with my feelings for JT Miller, which are noted for the record. But it's because Mika Zibanejad is doing the work JT Miller is not. And he's the guy. Now, you could also say, being the alternate captain, maybe there's less pressure on him. But this is he's not completely turned it around. The narrative about him has turned it around, though. 34 goals certainly helped that. But I still would like to see more playmaking, more assists out of him. But it is hard to do that as you get older. So I'm not sure if that's completely gone. So that's why you can't ever waste a day in general. I'll tell you one thing. I'm looking less at his contract. I'm looking less negatively at his contract as I did a year ago, because I would have shipped him out on the Titanic if I could a year ago. This year, now it's okay, kid, you could stay. So is it a little unfair to nitpick about some of those points, and as the guys were getting on me? Yeah, and I was kind of rambling. But on the other hand, and he's shown much more in games later on in the season. And actually, Evan's bringing up right here, the problem in general is that Mika is still in a role he shouldn't be in. If he was a 2C and this team had a legitimate 1C.
I do agree with that. Evan's absolutely right about that. I mean, if Mika Zibanejad is your number 2 center and he's scoring this amount of points at an $8.5 million cap hit, you're probably like, hey, that's a pretty damn good number 2 center, and that's good value on that contract like you're talking about.
Yeah, but Phil,
the other thing that I do agree, if the Rangers end up drafting Ivar Stenberg, yeah, I think that would be a real good mentor for Stenberg to have to come in. We talked about, and Steven brought this up, about the lack of insulation for guys like Kaapo Kakko. Like, having a guy like Zibanejad there to kind of support this kid come in, if they somehow end up with Stenberg, I want him living with Zibanejad. I want him living with Zibanejad. I want him learning how to be a pro from a guy like Zibanejad. And I know it's crazy saying this after last season, and like you said before, where his body language was like, "Get me out of here. I'm miserable." Yada yada yada. Like, it's changed. It's changed. And I do think he wants to be here. I think he wants to be part of the solution. And for what it's worth, like with Dexter Lawrence with the Giants right now, for any Giants fans or anybody who watches football, I want guys that want to be here.
Yes.
That's what I want. That's what I want. And Zibanejad is one of those guys.
Oh, by the way, I also want to say that since you mentioned Dexter Lawrence, because I'm going to immediately go to a different player from a different team, oddly enough, who got traded back to the team that traded him away. I want guys that want to be here and that want to make the team into a winner and not ask for the play to ask to be traded when the team's got to go through a rebuilding process, sort of like Micah Fitzpatrick did to the Miami Dolphins, who whined his way out of town after 1 year of being there and 2 games and went to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then everybody's like, oh, great. That's great. Yeah. Guess what? If you're a great player, you go to a losing team. That's the way a lot of it in college. A lot of these things go. And then you have to just build up your team. You can't just cry and, oh, get me to a winner. Shut up. And Dexter Lawrence, the same thing too. As soon as you want it out, get rid of him, because more than likely, if that's a fence that can't be mended, get him out. Don't even let him in the locker room, because we've seen the toxic locker rooms. And word is that the New York Mets have one of those right now. And it's been toxic for a while. And the funny part is, it's really Francisco Lindor that's a problem. I do think the Rangers do have a toxic locker room, by the way. That's a different story, because you could sell me on a lot of things. You can't sell me that everybody on the team loves JT Miller. There is not a chance.
Yeah, you know, I do agree with you on that. I don't know if it's an overall toxic locker room. Last year, yes. Last year, I do agree that there was a very toxic locker room. I think a lot of the guys who had their problems with Chris Drury are now gone. But I do agree with you that JT Miller is not somebody you want in your locker room. And maybe we're wrong about this, because we're not there. We're not there. So we can't say with certainty that we're right.
Which will be a great question to ask our Rangers guy when he comes on.
Yes, to talk to Johnny Lazarus about this.
Yes. And we're going to try to get Phil Korcher at some point. So
yes,
him too. It's just when you get to that point of that, you can visually see some players just looking over and going, screw F this guy. John, I don't understand why I didn't just say the word, but still. And we've all had those players in our locker rooms in the past, all of us, no matter what sport you played. There's just a guy you can't stand. And there's this guy that's right there. It's JT Miller. It's you can't tell me that he's a positive influence on the entire team. And the whole, when they were trying to say, oh, he's dragging people into battle. Well, guess what? You had 51 points this year. That is far below expectations. That is JT Miller.
Of course.
That is JT Miller 2018. And if you're supposed to be this elite player now, why don't you show us? Because how's it going to be next year when Vinny Trocheck isn't here anymore? So let's get to some more of your questions, guys. I want to hear some more of your ideas. And also, guys, throw them all down below. That's the end of Big Apple Hockey's Bar Talk, where we gauge our confidence on these NHL topics based on our choice of drink. So, editorials, yeah, we'll take your questions. I could go for maybe another half hour. Hopefully, Anthony. Do you want to do a puck doku real quick, Phil?
Yeah, we could.
Okay, let's do that. Everybody make sure that you're still throwing some questions down. We'll try to answer them in the middle of all this. If we end up not doing obscurities today, don't worry, we'll be doing obscurities next week. I would love to do.
I just need 2 more for that. I have some.
Well, let's get to
Yeah,
this
James,
one.
I started this question before, but there's a lot of
Yeah,
talk about Jordan Tyson. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
Oh no, sorry, I saw that too. I think they got to go O-line.
I don't know if I would take O-line at 5. I don't. I also don't know if I would take Jordan Tyson at 5. I think he's the best receiver in the class by far in terms of pure talent. It's injuries that are really a concern with Tyson. He just something. It's a lot to ask for a guy like him to really be that pick at 5. I would not be shocked if the Giants went with Love at 5. I think Jeremiah Love might be the best player in the draft in terms of talent. He is like a Saquon Barkley. Like he is a complete game changer. He's the best pure run. I think he might be the best running back prospect since Saquon Barkley. To be completely honest with you,
You don't think the drafting at 5 is a little bit high for him, given the value of running
Barkley
back?
at 2 is extremely high. Running back at 5,
All right, I mean, because
I don't know.
running backs aren't as valued anymore. That's part of the problem.
No, they're inherently probably the. I mean, Sonny Styles. I've heard that they want him, and then I heard that they don't want him. I don't know, but I don't know which is the smoke screen, though. You know.
This is why we got to launch Big Apple Sports eventually, but
Yeah,
just
we
don't
need
have
more.
any time.
We need more help with football, though. We
Yeah.
do.
Oh, we got some football people. I got some baseball people in question. I actually got the logo ready to go in case if we ever get that going. All right, but even still, even have like a little half-hour commentary show every single week.
No, we didn't, but I saw those rumors. If Chicago wants to take Malhotra, which they do need a center, if I don't know how they pass on a defenseman right now. They have Vlasic long term. Lev Shinov looks like he's legitimate back there. I don't know what his ceiling is, but I mean, if they want to take a center and they want to have someone behind Bedard, I mean, I'd be all okay with them taking Malhotra. That means that one of either Stenberg, Reed, or Verhoff, or Carson Karls, who's another one that's really kind of rising on a lot of draft stock. That could be there for the Rangers, depending on where the Rangers pick.
The more that I'm hearing different names being mentioned, scares the hell out of me for the Rangers. They're going to make the wrong pick. By the way, actually, everybody, before I'm sorry, before we get to Puck Doku, we should go to this one. Do our weekly lottery simulator. I got Tankathon for you right here. Let's see where the New York Rangers would end up in this. Sim the lottery. They go up one again, and they get Ira Stenberg. So there you go. By the way, Gavin McKenna to Florida.
Like that. I'll tell you right now, I like that.
Yeah.
Karls is, you know what it is? Carson Karls is such a great skater. They think he's like the closest thing to a Cal McCarr in this draft. But I'm telling you right now, you come away with one of Stenberg, Reed, Karls, or Verhoff, I don't think you can really go wrong with one of those 4.
Yeah. Well, that's where it's again, it's just I really wish the Rangers had a good development system, and it could actually give me some enthusiasm. All right, Filk. Do you want to start, or you want me to start it?
I'll go.
Okay, here we go. By the way, everybody listening, we have
a shitty one for me though. I think Columbus is going to cause a lot of problems for me with this one.
Yeah, we got Columbus. We got Columbus, the Avs, and the Canadians as the x-axis. Your y-axis is Capitals, the Anaheim Ducks and 5+ goals in a single playoff. That's your why. So, Phil, where do you want to start?
Let's see. Montreal and Anaheim. Go with Stefan LeBeau.
Damn it, you took the one I was thinking of.
No, you picked the wrong one.
I did the wrong one. I'm sorry. Picked the wrong guy.
You heard me say Stefan.
I did. So we're just getting that back. Don't worry. Nobody, it's not. Stefan
LeBeau.
Okay. It's with a, yeah. Okay. Stefan LeBeau. There you go. 2%.
Anaheim and Colorado, or do I want to do? Five goals with Colorado. Can I go Scott Young?
You can't.
What?
Scott Young, 5 goals in a single playoff.
I don't even. We don't even care at this point. Then.
Okay.
Yeah, I busted.
All right. You want to try to keep going?
Nah, I don't care.
Okay. All right. That's yeah. I'll see if I could do any worse.
Yeah, Mark.
Oh, we got Anthony. All right. All right. Oh, Anthony, first, fortunately, came back in time for the tree, the pyramid. Crap. Now I gotta think about how the hell I want to do this.
I think there's legitimately only 2 answers for that Columbus.
For that, well,
for that Columbus.
Is it got to be 5 goals for a specified team on a single playoff run?
It's got to be with Columbus too. So I think there's only 2 answers.
Okay.
I know one of them. I'm not sure on the other.
All right. I got to do this quick and get on this. Rats. I can't believe I'm stuck right now.
You can't even get one? What are we struggling with?
I just don't know where to start and to try to get the least amount of numbers. Because, I mean, obviously for this one, you could say Manson or you could say, yeah. Look, I don't want to use this one, but Jamie Pusher. I got a 9. I am going to go Dale Weiss here. Incorrect. I already lost.
Correct. No. Mark busted.
I busted. That took me seconds. And
this one was a hard one, dude.
Yeah. Anthony.
It was not an easy one.
Anthony, take it away for us. Who do you got?
What is that last? What is it? 5
goals in a single playoff run by the specified team. So Columbus is going to have very few options.
Yeah. All right. I'll start with Columbus and Washington. I'll go Jamie Heward.
So you know all these guys. Jamie Heward, 1%.
Canadians and Capitals. I'll do Roman Hamrlik.
That's a good one.
The Hammer, 1%.
Blue Jackets and Ducks. I'll go. I could do Wisniewski. Darren Van Imp.
Darren Van Imp, 0.5.
All right. Canadians and Ducks. I'll go Tom Kurvers.
See, my problem is, oh, wait, Canadians, Ducks. Hold on. My problem is when I get stuck on and I get the popular answer in my head and I can't get it out.
All right. Avalanche and Ducks. I'll go Brent Severin.
Brent Severin, okay. 0.5.
All right. Well, that was the easy part. I think my Islander defenseman theme is now officially done. I don't think I could use anybody else. Let's see.
I know where he would have tried to use Jack Hillen if the other team lined up as the Capital. I know that.
Yeah.
All right. So Blue Jackets and 5 goals in a single play. I think you're either talking Panarin or maybe Duchesne, maybe. Do Duchesne. I'll go Duchesne.
Matt Duchesne
Yeah.
at 30%.
Duchesne, yeah, that's the other answer. It was Panarin or Duchesne.
So that's
I
impossible.
looked it up after I
score.
I
Yeah.
wasn't sure Duchesne was the one. I wasn't.
Avalanche, 5 goals on a playoff run. Obviously there's the obvious guys, but I may have a guess here. Maybe Andrew Brunette.
Point 3.
All right. Canadians and 5 goals or more. I don't think Turgeon did it with Montreal. Don't think Matthew Schneider did in Montreal. Malakoff.
Anthony still wants to stay with his theme.
Well, it's already done. I'm just trying to think of Habs.
I got a guy that he's kind of an obvious guy, but
I could think of a few.
I mean, I'm assuming guys like Plekanec probably did it, but I don't know for sure. You know what the hell? Do Kostitsyn. I don't know which Sergey or Andre though. Andre
Kostitsyn, he's still at a 0.4. Anthony, all you need is Avalanche and Colorado.
You would have been wrong on Plekanec, by the way. That would have busted you.
Well, good thing I picked not.
Because I thought he did it too, but I would have said like Jacques Lemaire or somebody like that.
Yeah, I actually, Mike Camilleri is the easy one that I should have mentioned. But again, when the game is to try to score as low as possible, then you're trying to get those thoughts out of your head.
I didn't know Manny Fernandez is Jacques Lemaire's nephew.
Ken Klee.
I did not know about that either. Ken Klee and Anthony's got a 32.
Yeah, Anthony was the only one that finished. It's all right.
Yeah, so this one, let's just look at a couple of these stats real quick, since this is the last one. Yeah, Duchesne was the lowest you could go on the 5 goals in a single playoff for Columbus. The lowest you could go for Colorado, 5 goals in a single playoff run. John Ogrodnik, that's one we should have gotten, Phil, I think.
What for
it's going back to Nordique's days. But Sean Bodine was in there. Theo Fleury. I can't believe Theo Fleury's a 0.1, to be honest with you, because I thought that was a well-known run that he had.
I
mean,
I
Sanders
thought Theo Fleury
Ozolich.
was a little too obvious.
This is where it's funny, guys, because this is where it's like, wait a minute, it was that low, and of course, let's go with the Canadians. Mario Tremblay, their former coach, Mark Tardif, Russ Courtnall being this low.
Mark Tardif would have been a good one.
Donald Audette and Lars Eller being the 0.3. Really? Anthony got Andre Kostitsyn, Jacques Lemaire was that low, Shane Corson. I'm just getting more shocked at some of these. Thomas Vanek, who could not beat Henrik Lundqvist. Brian Bellows, I thought maybe chance to be this low. Brian Gianna being under a 1. How about that one? All right, guys, pyramid time. Here we go. And we're going to start with the Mighty Ducks or the Anaheim Ducks as the first one. So name anybody that's played for one of those.
Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. By the way, disappointing third, Dustin Penner.
Bawa.
What was it, Phil?
Robin Bawa, B-A-W-A.
Who the fuck is Robin Bawa?
I have no idea. I'm not even sure if Robin Bawa knows.
Anaheim Duck. I only remember him because of NHL 94, literally.
All right, now a duck in, what was it, NCAA?
NCAA. So you should use Paul Korea?
That's too obvious.
You insane?
No, I'm just saying.
Too obvious, dude. Paul Korea had a 100-point season in the NCAA.
Yeah, that's true.
Tom Curvers?
Tom Curvers would be a good one.
Tom Curvers is a good one.
Hold on. Before Tom Curvers was a defenseman, right? So that's a good one.
Tom Curvers never had 20 goals in a season, right?
No.
Okay. That's why I was wondering.
Okay, so now a Duck with 20 goals in any team, and he was in the NCAA. Krog never scored 20 for anybody, right?
No. Wait, hold on. Mike Leclerc, did he play in the NCAA? No, he was a WHL guy. Shit.
A duck and I mean Doug Waite, but that's probably you want to save him for maybe some of these other ones you have.
Well, definitely for Edmonton.
Wait, hold on. Because he's an Oiler, you can use him up to, I think. Actually, no, you can use him up to Stanley Cup winner Doug Waite.
Stanley Cup winner.
You know what? Marty McGinnis.
Yeah, he had 20 with the Islanders, right?
Yeah, he had 20 a couple of times.
Yeah, he had a couple, yeah.
Okay, Marty McGinnis.
All right.
So now we need an Oiler with a 20-goal season as well.
So now it starts to Oiler, Duck.
Obviously, you could always go Doug Wade on one of these, but because sometimes you have to play that into a factor.
Yeah.
No, you got to save him for Stanley Cup winner, dude.
I do think you have to save him for Stanley Cup winner.
Scott Young ever played for the Oilers? No, right?
No. He was an NCAA guy and he played for Anaheim. Scott Young went from Hartford to Pittsburgh, won a cup with Pittsburgh, went to Quebec, won with Colorado, went to Anaheim, then to St. Louis, then to Dallas, and then I think again back to St. Louis, if I remember correctly, on Scott Young.
Ducks in their history.
So 20 goals, played for Edmonton and Anaheim, NCAA guy.
Todd Marchand, did he ever get the? Did he ever get?
Yeah, Todd Marchand actually fits this.
He played in the NCAA.
He scored 20 goals with Edmonton, I think in 02 or 03. It was 03. It was 03.
It was 03. Okay, just want to make sure it was 20.
Fits this.
Yep, 20 goals with Everton. All right. Todd Marchand, who was traded for Craig McTavish.
0.
Boom. He's got a 4, so there's another number that's better.
So are there any other Stanley aside from Doug Waite though here?
And Doug Waite played in the NCAA, right?
Yes.
Chris Pronger. No, Chris Pronger doesn't get NCAA shit.
No, he doesn't.
What about Oiler? What about Sean Horkoff?
Okay, Sean Horkoff.
Play at Michigan?
He played Michigan State.
think he played in this. I want to say Michigan or Michigan
Michigan
State.
State. In Michigan
He
State,
played at
he
Michigan
does-
State, but he also never won a Stanley Cup.
He never won a Stanley Cup, so we would have had to have used him earlier. We would have had to use him. He probably actually would have been a lower number than Marchand, I think.
Oh, that's going to be a good question.
Anton Carter never played for Anaheim.
Never won a Stanley Cup either.
Never. Well, no, I was just thinking before the Edmonton one.
Well, he never played. Yeah, he never played for Anaheim anyway. So
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
They said
Yeah.
Horkoff doesn't fit.
No, because Horkoff never won a Stanley Cup.
it's
Um,
he would have fit the one before that, and then Marchand
Yeah, he
would have
fit the
done
one
one after
before.
that.
Yeah.
Which technically speaking, I could always reverse that, but
Wait, hold on.
Cogliano.
Jason Chimera never won a Stanley Cup, right? No. Fuck.
What?
He would have been one we could have used too.
Cogliano, didn't Andrew Cogliano play for Michigan? And I know he's obviously in Oilers.
Yes, he was drafted at a prep school, but I believe he played Michigan, but I don't think he won a Stanley Cup.
yeah, I was gonna say I don't. Oh, he won a cup
He did. Holy shit.
with Colorado.
With.
I think we might hot dog. We might have a wiener.
Right. Yeah, I would go Cogliano. See, because I don't know. 'Cause I think-
Cogliano puts us up to 79,
Oh,
and the
shit.
Kings. This is easily Dustin Penner, correct?
Gotta be.
Okay.
I don't see if there's anybody.
No.
else.
I think Penner played in the CHL. Hold on. Oh no, he played at Maine. Holy shit, I was wrong. Yeah, Penner.
Okay. So we're going Dustin Penner for the final. Let's see where we go, guys. So Penner was the only choice for the top, but Andrew Cogliano was your number one. Wow.
Mhm.
Doug Waite would have been the best answer for us right there.
Wow.
Someone, look, honestly, recency bias aside,
gotta be
somebody
recency
explain to me how the
bias.
hell that happened.
I can't read the names on that. Who are the other names on that one?
Marchand is 2 and Penner is 1. Sorry, Penner's the least. But also Penner, if you use Penner there, you can't use him at the top.
Yeah.
John Harcroft would have been number 1 to use right there. Adam Oates is also there. And Curtis Glencross would have been the best answer. All right. And I mean, hell, there was a lot of answers for this one. Cutter Gauthier, who's already scored 20. And, you look at Chris Kreider, who's down on the Ducks. Forget about the guys that are currently on the Ducks right now. All right, let's bring it on back for us, boys, and go on in. So, do we have obscurities that we could do today? Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
starting to run out of time. All right. I'm trying to figure out if I should change one of my names
Why?
because I mentioned his name earlier
Why'd you do that?
because it was to win Puck Doku.
Damn it, Mark.
Yeah, I know. If I do that, then I have to just change this, and I got it right there. Who'd have thought Dustin Penner would be a 2-time Stanley Cup champion?
What is that supposed to mean?
Just like the random guys that have 2 cups or even 1, like Michael Roosevelt.
Rosie.
I think he's got.
Yeah,
he's got-
somebody called him Rosy Balls years
Yeah.
ago that I was friends with, and that kind of just that always made me laugh.
He's. What the hell happened? I'll be right.
Damn it! I really wanted to use him. Yeah, I just gotta change one name.
That's fine. I also gotta get one more too. So you're okay.
All right. Anybody got any questions? Put them down in the comments below. We're gonna answer some questions before we start all this up. And again, everybody keep in mind we're gonna be doing a Islanders wrap-up show, a Rangers wrap-up show. There's a lot of hockey talk that we got going on for the rest of the year.
Don't forget the draft lottery coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. What day is that? That's on your birthday, you said.
No, it's the 5th, the day before my birthday.
The day before your birthday. Okay. Yeah, I had to take one of my obscurities off because I used Jamie Pusher in Puck Doku. And I had him slated for Filk, and I thought Filk was going to get at least 3 of the 5. And then once I did that, he was
I probably could have gotten
yeah. So that was that right there.
So funny, Mark.
Maria was playing just a game, and she sent me a message. So it makes me think about the Untouchables quotes of, hey, it's nice, it's good to be married, isn't it? Ready to end up with pick Cinco on Cinco de Mayo? Yeah. The lottery has been more and more having some crazy stuff happening for a while. And
did you see in the elite prospects last prospect ranking, they have Keaton Verhoff down to 11.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work. I think he's going to go well before that. There are some questions about him, but I mean, and people think that he might end up being like an absolute project, but I don't buy that. I don't buy that one bit.
Yeah, because I think that would be a steal if he fell that far.
Anybody who gets him at 11, that's an absolute win for them.
You know, I don't understand how Jim Rutherford's still in Vancouver. But they're just those guys. They're just like, and go ahead.
You don't understand who's where?
Like Jim Rutherford's still employed in Vancouver. Like there are guys that just always seem to escape any comeuppance or anything.
I mean, some guys are just like Teflon, right?
Yeah. I mean, look no further than Madison Square Garden's offices. Oh man.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this video right now that's so terrible that Josh Allen pumped up the crowd in Buffalo, and then after that they let it for. Like the poor guy. Like the amount of absolute garbage thrown at Josh Allen.
I don't understand what you're saying, because they lost because they banged the drum.
Yeah, no, but I mean everybody. Yeah, no, just actually chug the beer. But the amount of people that
I've got my 6.
There's the amount of people that just treat him like he's a loser, and that's far from it.
But who? Who
like
are you talking about?
ESPN never says anything good about Josh Allen.
I mean, they have an obsession with like Lamar Jackson and Patrick Mahomes.
That's the thing, yeah. And there's and online there's always the Josh Allen jokes, but Anthony, the guy is a winner, and not for nothing. Who does you in the era of you got to get him more help? Who does he play with? I mean,
No.
this was his best team in a while, and then it's football. Football's a little bit more unpredictable. All right. You guys ready? You said.
I have 6.
So
All right.
Do you want me to quiz whoever first?
All right. I'll start. I'll take it.
yeah, you start, Mark. But I gotta let my daughter's tutor in anyway. So.
All right.
right.
So I'll give you Mark when tell me whenever you're ready.
Okay.
All
I'm
right.
ready.
So this player has played 1,093 games over 19 years with 7 teams. Mark, this is Ron Sutter.
Ron Sutter. Ron Sutter played for the Flames.
That is correct.
Okay, the Kings.
No.
The Vancouver Canucks.
No.
The New York Islanders.
Yes.
Okay, the Chicago Blackhawks.
No.
Detroit Red Wings.
No.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Hartford Whalers.
No.
Boston Bruins.
Yes, and time.
Okay.
So
Thank God.
You got Islanders, Calgary, and Boston. You missed Philadelphia, San Jose, St. Louis, and Quebec.
All right. San Jose is the one that I really should have gotten because
I
the
thought you
reason why I
should've
started
gotten
laughing
Philly.
about it is I'm like naming every single team. I'm running out of teams. But San Jose, I do remember him on that team in its inaugural season.
He played his best teams in Philly. Actually, no, he wasn't in San Jose's inaugural seasons.
Oh, it was.
He was with them in the late 90s.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
No. Doug Wilson was in the inaugural season.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just batting 1,000 right now.
All right, Mark, you ready?
Okay.
Okay, so this player has played 415 games over 11 years with 6 different teams. Mark, this is David Schlemko.
The New Jersey Devils.
Yes.
Okay, the St. Louis Blues.
No.
Okay, the Florida Panthers.
No.
Carolina Hurricanes.
No.
Pittsburgh Penguins.
No.
Buffalo Sabres.
No.
Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Calgary Flames.
Yes. Stop.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So you got New Jersey and Calgary. You missed Phoenix, Montreal, San Jose, and Dallas.
He does have a name that would be on Phoenix, so that's what I should have gotten. Sometimes, yeah, like there are those players that they just got a name. You like usually the dumbest names usually are on New Jersey and Phoenix. Sometimes Calgary. Calgary's got some unique names that are out there. Oh, no. Well, it could be worse. It could be, yeah, it could be the Mets.
All right.
At
So
least-
Mark has 5 after 2.
Oh no, I thought I had 6. I
You
got 4 in
3
the first one.
right?
I thought I got 4. I got
Hold on.
Calgary, Boston,
You got Calgary, Boston, and the Islanders. That was it.
and Chicago, right?
No.
Oh, I thought I got
Chicago was
another
not
one
an
in there.
answer. No, I told you Chicago was a no.
Yeah, no, my bad. Okay.
No, so you got 5 over the first 2.
Ugh.
All right, Mark, your final player has played 318 games over 7 years with 5 teams. Mark, this is Danton Cole.
Colorado Avalanche.
Nope.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes.
Okay. The Carolina Hurricanes.
No.
The Washington Capitals.
No.
Florida Panthers.
No.
The San Jose Sharks.
No.
Anaheim Ducks.
No.
Vancouver Canucks.
No.
The Edmonton Oilers.
No.
The Detroit Red Wings.
No. And stop.
All right.
So you missed the Winnipeg Jets, New Jersey Devils, New York Islanders, and Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah, I knew the name and I knew I was boned. So, all right. Anthony, go if you want to go. All right, sorry, wait. I guess
I have 3 for you, Anthony, if you want, or
I'll do my 3 for Anthony then instead.
okay.
All right. Because Anthony could do better than I did. Ugh. Just
I can get the timer if you need it.
I am just embarrassing myself more and more lately. It just has been bad. All right, Anthony. First player. He played 1,107 games, played for 5 NHL teams. And his name is Derek Morris.
He's muted. Hold on.
Yeah. All right, we gotta read this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Anthony, you were muted.
He was muted. You couldn't hear anything.
All right.
Let's reestablish. All right, Anthony. You're ready with the timer, Phil?
Yeah.
It's Derek Morris.
Colorado Avalanche.
Has 1.
Calgary Flames.
2.
Phoenix Coyotes.
3.
San Jose Sharks.
Nope.
The Boston Bruins.
4.
And the Canadiens.
Nope.
Rangers.
Ding! You got it. All 5.
Yeah, I was about to say that was an easy one. I actually
it was kind of a little bit of a way up, but
yeah, that was an easy
that's
one.
the way it starts. All right. I kind of went a little bit on easy mode for some of these. Anthony, your next guy, he played in 642 games for 6 teams. And his name is Kevin Haller.
Ducks.
1.
Canadiens.
2.
Islanders.
3.
Sabres.
4.
Flyers.
5.
Whalers.
No.
You can play the Hurricanes?
6. He didn't play for the Whalers. He played for the Hurricanes. That's all 6.
Oh, that's all 6. Okay.
That's all 6.
Oh,
You got them all.
We've used Kevin Haller before too.
Oh, we have?
Yeah.
All right.
That
Then
was definitely a reused player.
I also use him in Puck Doku a lot, so I know.
Yeah.
There's also the there's the problem of us having the 5 players thing. We're gonna have to.
You're gonna have to go to different time periods too, which is what I.
Well, yeah. I mean, I've been trying to do in our lifetime, and
yeah, I'm not trying to do guys that were like. It's also hard because really before the 90s there wasn't a ton of player movement, so it's hard to get like guys that have played for 5 or more teams with 100 games, you know?
Yeah.
So,
all right. Anthony, here's your last one. And this one is a more recent guy. He played in 535 games, and his name is Matt Hunwick.
Who?
Matt Hunwick.
Boston.
1.
Bruins.
that's the same team.
Yeah.
Oh, so Boston, Sabres, Rangers.
Sabres and Rangers, you're up to 3.
Predators.
Nope.
Lightning.
Nope.
Maple Leafs.
4.
Ducks.
Nope.
Blue Jackets.
Nope.
Devils. Flyers.
No.
Stop. Yeah. He right after he said the second team, he missed Colorado. I know that for sure.
And Pittsburgh.
Okay.
All right. So that's 4 of the 6. And this is why I use the term
14.
This is why I use the term I'm boned when that's the score I have to try to catch up with.
Okay.
All right. Phil, you want your 3?
Sure.
Mark, you got the timer?
Yes, I do.
All right. Phil, your first player played in 689 games for 5 teams. His name is Brett Clark.
Colorado.
Yep.
Montreal,
Yep.
Florida,
No Florida.
Nashville,
No.
Anaheim,
No.
Toronto,
No.
Washington,
No.
Sabres,
No.
Lightning,
Yes.
San Jose Sharks,
No.
Calgary,
No.
Edmonton,
No.
Pittsburgh,
No.
Philadelphia.
No.
Time.
You missed it. Minnesota and Atlanta.
Minnesota and Atlanta. Shit, I knew Atlanta too. I forgot Minnesota.
You got 3.
All right. So how many does it get, Phil, right there?
You got 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5.
3 or 5.
Okay.
Got it. All right.
All right. All right, Philip, your next player played in 633 career games over 6 teams. His name is Mike Weaver.
Florida,
Yep.
Montreal,
Yep.
Buffalo,
No.
Edmonton,
No.
Calgary,
No.
Chicago,
No.
Tampa Bay,
No.
Boston,
No.
Atlanta,
Yes.
Carolina,
No.
Philadelphia,
No.
Pittsburgh,
No.
Detroit.
Time.
Uh,
So you missed St. Louis, Vancouver.
St. Louis and Vancouver. Okay.
All right. So how many is that in the end? Sorry.
You got Montreal, Florida, Atlanta, and you said LA, right?
No, I didn't say LA.
Oh, so you got 3 then. Montreal, Florida. Yeah.
No.
All right. Phil, with this answer, will pass me.
All right. Philip, your last player. Get him in here. This is probably the toughest one, but he played for 5 teams for 127 career games. His name is Mike Blunden.
Chicago,
Yes.
Montreal,
Yes.
Tampa,
No. Yeah. Sorry. Yes. Yes. 2 more.
Coyotes,
No.
San Jose,
No.
Edmonton,
No.
Nashville,
No.
Detroit,
No.
Penguins,
No.
Time.
Flyers,
No. You missed Columbus and Ottawa.
Columbus.
And
Ottawa.
Phil got the first 3, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
I remember him
So
as a prospect. That's why I knew he was drafted by Chicago. So
my first thought was, who the hell was Mike Blunden?
no, I remember him. I remember him. All right,
All
I'll
right.
give Anthony my 3 then for him.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Anthony, this is going to be Mark. You ready with the timer?
Yep.
All right, Anthony, this is going to be your easiest one.
Okay.
Okay, that's the only team that's not. All right. So this player has played 1,044 games over 15 years. 1, 2, 3, 6, 8 teams. This, Anthony, is Rob Ramage.
The North Stars,
Yes.
Canadians,
Yes.
Maple Leafs,
Yes.
the Rangers,
No.
the Colorado Rockies,
Yes.
the New Jersey Devils,
No.
the Penguins,
No.
Sabres,
No.
Jets.
Time.
No.
Yeah,
Calgary Flames.
Calgary. So he's missing Calgary Flames, St. Louis Blues, Tampa Bay Lightning, Philadelphia Flyers.
All right. Yeah. Come on. Rob Ramage. He had to be a Flyer. That was 4 of them, right, Phil?
Yeah, 4.
Anthony's up to 19.
Shit.
What?
Oh, all right. I'm gonna have to give you a different one for this one because I just realized one of his teams was not an NHL team. Shit. I was going to give him Mark Napier, but I misread the Toronto, and it's actually not. It's a WHA team. Shit.
Mark Napier, didn't he shoot Batman's family in the original 1999 version?
No. All right,
that
Anthony,
is
I'll
Mark
give you
Napier.
this other player while whenever you're ready.
Yep, I'm ready.
Okay, so this player played 402 games over 9 years for 5 teams. Anthony, this is Robert Dirk.
The Vancouver Canucks.
Yep.
Did he freeze? Phil freeze?
No,
Yeah,
I'm
he
here.
froze.
I'm here.
You froze.
Yeah,
I'm
he
here.
said yes. Vancouver, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's North Stars,
North Stars?
No.
Canadians,
Yes.
Rangers,
No.
Maple Leafs,
No.
Sabres.
No.
Time.
So you missed St. Louis, Anaheim, and Chicago.
All right, and that's 3 of them there, right?
That's 2.
Oh, okay, so that
There
brings
were
it up to
5. You
21.
only got 2.
All right, so 21 right there. I'll do mine next. I'll blow it, and then Phil might have a fighting chance.
Yeah.
He gave me 3 already.
No, that was only
no.
2.
It was
That's right,
2.
2. Oh, but Anthony, he's got to do another one. So
Because it fucked up.
all right, so
All right,
why don't
Anthony,
you?
I got one for you, Anthony. I got one for you.
Oh, you do? All right.
Okay.
Yeah. This player played 384 games over 9 years for 5 teams. Anthony, this is Glenn Featherstone.
Blues,
Yes.
Whalers,
Yes.
Rangers,
Yes.
Penguins,
No.
Flyers,
No.
Sabres,
No.
Coyotes,
No.
Sharks,
No.
Ducks,
No.
Hurricanes.
No.
Started off hot and then just went
Time.
down.
You missed Boston and Calgary.
Anthony, you should have went north to Boston.
Yeah.
Boston and Calgary were the other 2 teams.
And yes, getting guy with a name like Featherstone eventually ends up in Calgary. All right. So how many was that for him? 3?
3.
All right. Anthony with a monumental 24 to go. All right. Anthony, go ahead. Give me mine. I know I'm boned.
All right. All right, Mark.
Like I got to sweep. I got to sweep all these, so it's not happening.
Your first player played in 1,022 career games for 5 teams. His name is Frederick Olesen.
God, I like blowing these lately. Frederick Olsen played for the Anaheim Ducks.
Yes.
Okay, the Toronto Maple Leafs.
No.
Okay, because that would be Boschman. Olsen, Vancouver Canucks.
No.
The Calgary Flames.
No.
The St. Louis Blues.
No.
Time.
Detroit Red Wings.
Wow.
No,
So
the Red Wings were after the time.
he didn't get that in?
No, he didn't.
All right.
It was pretty well afterwards.
All right, so they were a team, but no, Mark, you missed the Red Wings, Penguins, Oilers, and Winnipeg Jets.
Mighty Ducks.
He said the Ducks. That's the one
I got the Ducks. That's the one I
he
got.
the Ducks? Oh.
Yeah, the Ducks is the one I got.
Yeah.
I was about to say, because he was in a Solani trade, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. No, was he? Thought he was.
Sure
No, Oleg Tverdovsky was in the Slotty trade.
I know Tverdovsky was.
Tverdovsky and Kilger, I thought. And I think it was. We'll check that. I'll check that. But, geez, 1. And Frederick Olsen is a guy I know.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the problem is, I only
remember.
remember him as a Duck. Couldn't think of anything else.
All right. You ready for your next player, Mark?
I'm ready to screw.
Oh
this
no,
up.
he wasn't in the Solani trade. He was traded by Anaheim. Oh no, he was selected. Oh, he was a waiver pickup in '96 from Edmonton. Oh fuck! Wow. Okay.
And he was traded for Sean Antosky and Dmitry Mironov.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Anthony, let's go.
Your next player, Mark, played in 362 career games for 6 teams. His name is Anatoly Semenov.
Anatoly Semenov was the Flyers, the Tampa Bay Lightning,
Yep.
the Anaheim Ducks,
Yep.
Florida Panthers,
No.
St. Louis Blues.
No.
Who was the original team before he got there? Vancouver Canucks.
No. Oh, yes.
Okay, Edmonton Oilers.
Yes. One more.
And Calgary Flames.
No.
Detroit Red Wing.
Stop.
Detroit Red Wing.
No.
No.
You missed Buffalo.
All right.
Yeah, that's it.
So I got 4 of the 5.
Talk about a guy I didn't think you would do good on. And then you go and you just.
Anatoly Semenov, I believe, was the second highest rated player on the Anaheim Ducks in NHL 94.
Yeah, he was up there. Yeah.
And in 95, when he was a member of the Philadelphia Flyers in one of the last games of the year, he tried flipping a puck over the net to surprise Glenn Healy, but he got stuck on the back of the net and he couldn't get it over. So I do remember that. I was trying to remember the original team he was on before he went to Anaheim, and that they got him in the expansion draft. And that's why I thought St. Louis first, but that's Terry Yake where he went. And then obviously I just couldn't get Buffalo.
Yeah. Well, I got to give you credit though. Again, I was surprised.
I know, and I had to explain all that, Anthony, to prove that I actually do know things, because the first couple of answers were not looking well for me.
All right, Mark. Your next and last player played in 899 career games.
No, you didn't make 900.
No, and he played for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 teams. JJ Daniel.
JJ Daniel. Okay, Montreal Canadiens.
Yep.
Minnesota Wild. St. Louis Blues.
Yep.
The Atlanta Thrashers.
No.
The New York Islanders.
Yes.
The Nashville Predators.
Yes.
How many do I have left?
1.
Anaheim Ducks.
2. So you got 2. You got 2 more?
Los Angeles Kings.
No.
The San Jose Sharks.
No.
Vancouver Canucks.
No.
Vancouver was one of the teams, but it was after a time.
Did he? Sorry. So you missed Vancouver and Minnesota.
No, he said Minnesota.
No, I said Wild.
Phoenix. Sorry, Phoenix. You
That's
didn't
the one I
say
missed. Phoenix. All right, so that's 6, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so it looks a little bit more respectable. I'm like the Sabres score from last night. All right. Okay.
Don't you have to give Filk 3?
Yeah, I gotta give Phil Kiss 3. Here we go.
All right.
Anthony, you got the timer?
I'm getting it. Hold on. All right.
Okay. Phil, your first player played 518 games for 5 NHL organizations. He's a favorite name of a Pirate, Darby Hendrickson.
Colorado.
1,
Toronto.
2,
Islanders.
3,
Vancouver.
4.
Buffalo.
Nope.
Tampa.
Nope.
Atlanta.
Nope.
Nashville.
Nope.
San Jose.
No.
Anaheim.
Nope.
Philadelphia.
Nope.
Pittsburgh.
Nope.
Chicago.
Nope.
Buffalo.
Nope.
Wow. Boston.
Nope.
Washington.
Nope. That time, right?
Yeah.
Minnesota, Filk. That was the last one.
Minnesota. Shit. I knew that.
So 4 of the last 5. Crap. Hold on. Okay, there is. You have 9, so you're up to 13. 13 for Filk right now. Okay. Let me get back to that. Sorry. All right, your second guy. He played 383 games for 5 NHL organizations, and his name is Kevin Todd.
New Jersey,
That's one.
Washington,
No.
San Jose,
Nope.
Toronto,
Nope.
Detroit,
Nope.
Tampa,
Nope.
Montreal,
Nope.
Florida,
Nope.
Buffalo,
Nope.
San Jose.
You said San Jose. No.
Oh, shit. Philadelphia,
Nope.
Los Angeles.
There's 2.
Time.
Calgary.
All right. The ones you didn't get were Anaheim, Chicago, and Edmonton.
Oh, damn.
So you got 2 right there. Brings you to 15. And now your chance to pass me. And you know, Filk, smile, because with Buffalo in the playoffs, couldn't help but bring this name up. The illustrious, 540 game career of the illustrious Kevin Adams.
Buffalo,
No,
Carolina,
that's right.
Columbus,
2.
Pittsburgh,
Nope.
Dallas,
Nope.
Detroit,
Nope.
Anaheim,
Nope.
Florida,
There's 3.
Boston,
Nope.
Time.
Philadelphia.
Well, you passed me. You didn't get Philadelphia, and also Philadelphia wasn't in there. Phoenix and Chicago were the last 2.
Fuck, I forgot about Phoenix. I don't remember with Chicago, but at Phoenix, I do remember it.
Yeah, so those 3 will get you at
Ugh.
18. And boom, the Obscurities winner of the day is Mr. Anthony LaRocco. So, take it. Well, all right. Well, I was going to say take a bow, but we'll just throw some balloons up for you right there.
You gave me 2 guys that I went perfect on, so that really helped.
Yeah, that's
Perfect. By the way, it's funny because Isildur is bringing this up, but I forgot completely all the time about the Mayday goal that LaFontaine fell down as he made that pass. Like, that's just something I just keep forgetting, but that was a great pass by LaFontaine. So
yeah, this is the first time they're playing each other in the playoffs since that.
yeah.
Series.
I don't
Wow,
think they played each other in the playoff sense because they didn't play. Wait, Boston lost to New Jersey in '94.
Yeah. And in 95, no, Boston lost to Jersey in 95.
Hold on.
First round of 95 was.
I thought it was 94 that they lost to New Jersey.
No,
in the
first
second round.
Jersey beat to go to the.
Yeah,
their
they
first
lost.
stop.
They lost to Jersey in the second round in '94.
Really? Oh, that must have been Buffalo was the first round then.
They faced Jersey twice. They faced Jersey twice in a row, 94 and 95, and they lost to Jersey in both times. But it was the first round in '95. It was the second round in '94. Then they lost in the first round to Florida in '96. '97, they bottomed out and they got Thornton. They traded Oates in the middle of that season. '98, they lost to the Capitals in the first round. '99, they lost. They played in '99. They lost to Buffalo in '99 in the second round.
See, it's unbelievable that the last time the Rangers played the Islanders was 1994.
Yeah.
That's. I mean, it almost happened in 2015.
Yeah.
Almost.
The Islanders would have won. I honestly think that the Rangers would have gotten through that series a lot easier than Washington.
Well, the Islanders were barely holding on at that point.
I
This is
think
great.
I honestly think they would have played a beaten up and battered Islander team, and that would have been even if I think the Islanders have full strength. I think the Rangers at that point they went two separate ways. The Islanders, the first half of the season, were a really good team. They were one of the better teams in the NHL, and then the Rangers took over the second half of the year.
And you could argue that was the best Capitals team until they won the cup, but that because that cup team was so deep. Go ahead, Anthony, simulate it.
Oh yeah, now that we're close to the draft lottery, let's simulate and see what happens here.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
actually did one before when you weren't on,
Oh.
so go ahead.
Lottery.
Now the Rangers moved down to 4. Keaton Verhoff.
The Panthers go up 6 spots.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The Panthers just being in this draft lottery is absurd because they can go around and get a guy that's possible franchise talent, and they could get that with the core they have. That's
On this one, the Rangers get Gavin McKenna.
Yeah, the Jets.
Nice.
The Jets move up 5 spots.
do one for me then, I guess.
All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, the Islanders
Not
move
good, that
up
one.
10 spots and get Chase Reed.
You know,
That's
it's
ridiculous.
the only way to say it for me is the Rangers. The Rangers could draft first overall, still get Gavin McKenna, and he still ends up being a bust because they have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, that would be like if the Islanders did that again and won the lottery, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, but it's
And then
it is what it is.
Remember the new rule: you can only you can only draft first 2 years in a row. I don't think there's anything saying you can't win the lottery more than 2 years in a row.
Yeah, but what happens if you win? I forgot what this is. Like you
Well,
win the
so I'm saying,
lottery.
I think the rule is you can't pick first more than 2 years in a row now.
Okay, but what if you won the lottery and then you would have? I think you can pick first 2 years in a row. I don't think you can pick first like 3 years in a row. I think it's like it's capped. It is capped. I just can't remember what it's capped on.
Well, yes, that's the new rule that prevents. So when the Oilers picked first overall 3 years in a row.
Yeah. But also, by the way, that's also what I talk about with the feeling of just bottom out all the time. Look at what Chicago's done. They bottomed out, but they are just they're just nothing. Like, when's that team going to start building and ascending? And you kind of thought it might have been this year, but Bedard got injured. They fell out of the playoff race, and then that was it for them.
Yeah, no, they hung in for a while there with Chicago.
Yeah, but it's all right. So, guys, we got 3 games on the slate tonight. You got Pittsburgh, the Wild and Stars, and game 2 of the Edmonton Oilers versus
The Anaheim Ducks.
Anaheim Ducks. Who do you got winning these games tonight?
I'm going to go Philadelphia, Dallas, and Edmonton.
I'm gonna say there's just it's in my gut to say the Penguins are gonna do this. They're gonna actually win tonight, and I think Philly takes game 4. Though I would not be surprised if Philly just
Very
steamrolls them. I'm gonna say actually Penguins. I'll say the Stars go up and get home ice back, and I just got the feeling the Ducks got it tonight.
I'm gonna say Philly, Dallas, and Anaheim.
All right.
All right.
So none of us are all the same.
Yeah, I don't know. Anaheim was up in that game. They came back. I think they're going to find a way to even up the series tonight.
I don't think they should do this at all, Joe.
No.
I really don't. You're
can't-
gonna like I get that there's the distinct possibility that this team tries to hotshot a rebuild, which I
They're
get
going
it.
to.
I get it. And Vince Mercogliano's hinted at it. We've seen it in the past. We know James Dolan is impatient, but I don't like the idea of trading a top 5 pick for Jason Robertson or Robert Thomas when you're not that away. You're a lot more than that away.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying these would be last pieces, but now you have to turn around and you have to go get other pieces that will put you back up into a contender status within the next few years, and you're not going to have a lot to work with. That's the issue. On the other side of it, you signed Igor Shesterkin to that stupid contract, and you have to go doing something with it, and you have Adam Fox on a deal until a certain amount of time. So you kind of have to, in a way, but it's just not the best thing for them to do because Fox has, I think, 3 years left on his deal. Yeah, 3 years left on his deal after this one. He has a full no move next year and then a modified no trade, which is a 16-team no list the final 2 years. But you're going to have to do something with this team. And not only that, but Adam Fox right now is 28. He is going to be 31 by the time this deal ends, I believe. I don't know what you're going to get out of him in that next deal. So that's what concerns me more than Shesterkin.
You made all right. Here's the thing: you got to get younger at some point. You can't keep going and chasing, and chasing. And this is what, again, it is ridiculous to think about stuff like this. And I'm not attacking you, Joe. I'm saying, and it's just, if they don't develop a future, you're living in the present. Their present is not good right now. They're not going to turn around this team and become a Stanley Cup champion next year. It's not going to happen. And especially when there's a lot of other X factors. The best team that, and I do mean team-wise, that the Rangers had, you can argue 2012 through 2015, and even over the recent teams, is because a lot of their players grew up in their system and they grew together and they played for each other. You sort of saw that with 2024. You could argue it a little bit, but that's the thing. You keep bringing in guys from outside stuff. It does nothing. Look at the teams that they built in the early 2000s. They were all just hired guns. Nobody cared. And the roster construction was terrible. They need to start being an organization. And the thing is, if you have the chance, let's say you draft like 3 to 5, you're saying. Let's say if you got the chance to draft like a Malhotra, and I use the comparison to his dad. The Rangers didn't use his dad. They didn't develop him. And the thing is, once you plant the seed and you don't grow it, and then you move it to a potted plant.
I don't even think it's unfair to even mention Manny in this instance. I get the concern and the trepidation about drafting and developing with this team. That's fair. But to talk about Manny Malhotra when that was that's over 25 years ago now.
Their philosophies haven't changed.
I understand that, but it's a completely different regime. Like, there is nobody from that regime that is here anymore. And if you want to say Sather's in the background, okay, but to what point can we confirm that?
Okay, but where I'm still going to get with is, what's the last young player the Rangers brought up and let flourish and let make mistakes at the NHL level?
Well, I could literally point to Gabe Perreault right now.
Yeah, right now it's Gabe Perreault. But what happens if Gabe Perreault has like a slight injury and the next thing you know, Ty Cartier outplays him, and then they go with him for a while, and then go, this guy Ty Cartier, he's the one that's going to do it. Instead of going with the guy you're trying to cultivate. The Rangers have done. I'm sorry, I have no faith in you. You have shown me too many times over.
I get it, but I just don't think
develop their
should be
talent.
the point that you're looking at.
Well,
I think that's a terrible example to use because it doesn't even make sense. And the coach actually just killed him by saying, "Oh, he's nothing more than a fourth liner."
Correct. And look, I've seen it just recently with Lafreniere, where you're playing Colin Blackwell or other guys more minutes than him. Like, when are they going to invest in youth? You have to invest in youth. So, in other words, if you take this pick, you move up to get Robinson.
This season, though.
Okay, you did this season. You did it for 2 months. You're the smartest organization now. They did it for 2 months. Where was this in October?
I would say more than 2 months. I mean, you gave Gabe Perreault top 6 minutes for I mean, what, like 30, 40 games almost?
Yeah, but still, Phil, that's not the entire season. The Rangers will
because he wasn't up the entire season.
Okay, then why wasn't he up the entire season?
Because they felt he wasn't ready.
Okay, well, again, what did they feel that the rest of the crap hole was ready?
Okay, so then was it really a bad decision if he played as well as he did?
Phil, they don't develop their talent. I'm going to stand by that.
I'm not saying they do. I'm not saying they do. All I'm saying is bringing up Manny Malhotra, something that happened over a quarter of a century ago now, is not the best point to use about this.
Okay, well, then I'll still bring up the fact that they had Brett Berard and they're still using Connor Sheary. What are you doing?
That's a nepotism situation. That's absolutely nepotism.
Then the Rangers get what they deserve.
I'm not disagreeing on that part. But
so
I just think it's a bad example to point to a player's father when that happened 25 years ago, and the coach who did that subsequently got fired.
Subsequently got fired years later. And the thing is, I'm still going to keep going. I'm going to keep going back to it because the Rangers still have this philosophy. They have the philosophy of always deal the young, deal the young, deal the young. Well, you dealt Mark Savard. He ended up flourishing. And a lot of their prospects over the last 10 years haven't flourished. Duclair, Buchnevich. I mean, I can't think of many. So
the last thing I'll say regarding this is if we're going back to the same conversations and Connor Sheary is playing minutes over Yaroslav Hemelash and Ty Cartier and Adam Sikora and all those guys, then okay, we can talk about that. Like then
I would say Ty Cartier, I'd put him in the Connor Sheary thing.
No, I wouldn't. No, because he's 24 years old. He's not Connor Sheary.
But he's not the Rangers guy. They didn't scout him and develop him, but he's the new shiny toy, and that's what they're using. I hope this is the Ty Cartier that we're going to
hold on. So you're telling me that an undrafted free agent that's 24 years old that they got off waivers is similar to Connor Sheary? Come on, Mark.
Not similar.
Let's be a little more disingenuous while we're at it.
It's not a disingenuous comment, if you want to say it like that. It's that I still look at it and go,
it is. Connor Sheary is a guy that was undrafted that came up as a PTO, and he got this contract because of nepotism, because of who the coach is.
Yeah, because the coach had him before, and also he's his father-in-law. But also, everybody keeps acting like there's this huge ceiling. He had 120 goal season.
Who?
Connor Sheary.
Sheary? No, dude. Nobody's talking about a ceiling with Sheary. Who has talked about a ceiling with Sheary?
There's been articles I've read on the internet going, hey, the Rangers might got something with Connor Sheary.
Who said that?
There has been. I'm serious.
Who?
I'm serious. I've seen him. I gotta look him up now.
I
texted him to the group because I was so infuriated.
Because all the local bloggers, everybody else, has been saying Nepo contract, Nepo contract, Nepo contract. I would have loved to have said that.
I think one of them was one of our people that we love to rip in our private chat. So if I'd have to go find it. That's the thing. I'm telling you it exists, Bill. I didn't make it up.
I would love. I'm not. Listen. I'm not saying. I'm not calling you a liar, but I have not seen any of this.
Okay.
That's why I
But
keep asking.
I'm telling you it's there. I'm telling you it's there. Because they're going to bring him back. They're going to bring him back.
That's what I'm scared of. Okay, if you bring him back, then we can come back to this conversation and say, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Because he doesn't belong here.
As soon as he signs the 1-year deal, firm 1-year deal, not even a PTO, it's just, it is what it is. The Rangers could get Gavin McKenna. They'll play Connor Sheary ahead of him. Prove me wrong.
Caulfield wasn't a Terrier. I believe Caulfield was a
no, he was Wisconsin.
Yeah.
That I do know.
Because he was teammates with Keandre Miller, I believe, there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Wisconsin.
It's just I'm tired of having having this conversation only because I'm tired of being proved right on it. Drives me crazy. Let the youth do this.
Listen, I do agree that there is reason to believe that they could go back to playing the guys. That's why I keep saying culture wins are meaningless, because when the calendar comes around the new season, they'll have something to play for. So are they going to continue to play the kids? That's a legitimate concern. But the problem, I look back over 20 years. I can't. None of that management is here anymore. You even went back to Neil Smith.
I went all the way back to Neil Smith because that philosophy has been around. What's the one constant? What's the one constant?
They tried to get younger with that trade, though.
Right, but what is the one constant?
Younger with that deal.
Right, but what's the one constant that's been around for the New York Rangers?
They don't know how to draft and develop. Yes, I know.
It's Jim Dolan. Jim Dolan
really wasn't involved in the late 90s. That wasn't,
right, but you know what? It's like a win now mentality that it permeates.
You want to talk about the Sakic offer sheet? Okay, fair, but that's the best. He was the best player in the world in the summer of 1997 after Mario Lemieux said his goodbye. He was considered the best player in the world, and he was right in his prime years. That's when you go and do it. That was the one time they tried.
I have no problem with
one time they tried to get a player in their prime, and they lost, and they got him, and they sort of got him, but didn't.
And what was their backup solution?
What's up?
What was their backup solution?
LaFontaine. They didn't have anything then at that point, though. Messier had left, and they didn't want Messier because they wanted to get younger. They didn't want to give 3 years, $18 million to Messier. They were right for not doing so. Maybe Messier scores between 70 and 80 points those 3 years in New York, still playing with Gretzky, and maybe they make the playoffs. But Messier went to Vancouver, where he had McGillney, he had an up-and-coming Naslund, he had an up-and-coming Bertuzzi, he had other guys that were up-and-coming, and they still screwed up. He had a 50-goal Pavel Bure in 98, and they still couldn't do anything with it. So they were right to make that decision on Messier.
Yep. But again, it would have had, it just, I still look at it. I'm going to go back to that. I have no faith in them. None.
I understand that. Okay. I understand that. You're not exactly wrong. You're not, no one that questions Chris Drury's ability to be the guy in charge for this whole thing is wrong about questioning that.
But this is where you have a 3 to 5 pick. Getting back to what the original comment was, you have a 3 to 5 pick. You should be investing in that pick and trying to build a future around it.
I agree. That's what I'm getting at.
Yes.
And I'm sure
not the way we got there. Sorry.
And I'm sure they will use the pick. I don't think they're going to trade it if that's what you're worried about.
Either. I don't think you can trade it in hot shot unless you are getting an absolutely elite player. But you cannot go and get Robert Thomas. Robert Thomas is a very good player. He would have been a good fit for the Islanders. That would have been a guy that you could come in. They're a little more ready. They're closer to being a contender than the Rangers are right now. The Rangers need to do this the right way. That is absolutely undebatable at this point. Whether or not they will is another story.
Now, by the way, just to mention something, we keep talking about how great they were on the meaningless culture games. the last 25 games of the year, this is after the Olympic break, 12, 10, and 3. That's this amazing team. Yeah, they're plus 17 in goal differential. Good for them. What about the rest of the season?
If you would have told me that they would have played the younger players from December on, and then they would have ruined their tank and they would have came closer to a playoff spot, but the young kids all came in and played significant roles and they showed signs of development. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of not being in the draft lottery, especially. Listen, my philosophy is that if you're going to miss the playoffs, be the worst friggin' team in the league. Go get that number 1 overall pick and don't even try it. If you're
Vancouver did that in spades.
Vancouver knew they weren't good. They knew they weren't good. They traded away their franchise talent, which they should have, because they had to. They knew that they weren't going to that he wasn't going to re-sign there. Good on Patrick Allvin to get the return that he did when he did. But you have to make sure that you get a top pick, because you have to avoid scenarios like this. You have to avoid your Del Coles, your Jessamins. You cannot leave it up to chance. You have to go get the best player on the board, because if you fuck that player up, or if that player just doesn't get it done right, it's on that player then at that point. It's like Kako.
By the way, there's another factor.
But Kako has not produced to an NHL level number 2 overall pick. He just has not. And it's a big part of it is on him now at this point, because he ain't doing shit in Seattle.
The last part, just to mention, if you trade, sorry, Anthony, we're just dominating this for the last 5 minutes. But if you decide to trade the number 3 pick for Robert Thomas, we'll say, you're jumping from an ELC of a player that is going to be 18, 19 years old and helping out your team potentially within a year, to a late 20s, sometimes like early 30s guy. But I think Thomas is like 28 right now, I think.
Younger than that.
Younger than that? All right, but still, you're jumping in salary too. So you're gaining in age and salary. How about get the guy that is cheaper? And especially when you're a cash-strapped organization that's spending $11.5 million on your goalie. And
Robert Thomas is actually still 26.
I'm actually shocked by that. But I thought he was going to take a jump, and he didn't.
It's funny. I look at this. Somebody just brought up Yakupov in the chat, and I look at this 2015-16 Edmonton team, and I look at the talent on it. Number 1 overall, Taylor Hall. Number 3 or 4 overall, I think 4, Leon Draisaitl. Connor McDavid, number 1 overall. Jordan Eberle was a top 10 pick. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins was number 1 overall. Nail Yakupov was number 1 overall. Like, Darnell Nurse was a top 10 pick. Like, how did that team go wrong the way that they did?
No defense, no goaltending.
No defense, no goaltending. I mean, it's just
bad coaching. I think Dave Tippett was there at one point. I'm surprised about that. But that was after I think he was in the later years.
I mean, they had Todd McClellan in 2015-16.
Todd McClellan wanted to go coach the kid, and
Dallas Eakins was there for 2 seasons. Ralph Kruger, Tom Rennie.
They went with
2 seasons. Pat
They
Quinn
went with guys that were unproven. They went with guys that were unproven. They went with Tom Rennie, who was bounced around everywhere. And they've had rotating door coaches. That's for sure.
That's true too.
Finals.
They just never figured out defense. All
right. All right, guys, we're gonna have to wrap it up right there. And it's been a good 3 hours, 14 minutes. So it's been plenty. Yeah. Anthony, how about getting any word in edgewise? Because we didn't like
I think for the Rangers is just the good thing for them is that the free agent market is really weak. So any Ranger fan worried about trying to hotshot a rebuild, can maybe breathe a little easier because there's not many guys they can even add to try to even do that. It's a very
We do know one guy that they've had interest in for like multiple years now, and it's Alex Tuck, and he's the best guy in the class.
Yes,
And I
yes.
hope they don't go anywhere near that. Good player, but not worth what. If he's commanding $10 million, stay the hell away.
Here's the other thing.
Sorry, Mark.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Anthony.
I would say based on the fact that he's from Buffalo combined with from Syracuse, but still
that area
combined with Buffalo's resurgence, I can't see him leaving. I think he's going to stay in Buffalo.
I hope so. I hope he re-signs with them.
And I really do hope so too. And not just for everything else. But here's the other thing. Can't help but mention this. If you're going to go out and try to sign Alex Tuck, what the hell did you get Liam Greentree for? Bottom six forward?
I don't think.
That's how stupid this organization is.
Liam Greentree. I don't know if Liam Greentree's ready yet. Like I would like to see him play pro before I go in, unless he blows them away in training camp. Unless he comes into training camp and absolutely blows them away and forces their hand, I don't think he starts next year with them.
Okay,
I'd be surprised if he does.
Okay, so let's go further. So if he's not going to be there at training camp, chances are going to be there at the end of the year? Because then what the hell are you doing getting Alex Tuck? Because he ain't going to sign a 1-year deal. He's going to sign a multi-year deal.
They're not an Alex Tuck away. They're not. Right. They're not like. I mean, even if you wanted to say they were an Alex Tuck away from the playoffs, they're not. Their defense is just it's gross. You have Urho Vakanainen playing minutes. He doesn't belong near any NHL roster. Mm-hmm. You have. I mean, you're trying to get. Or Matthew Robertson has looked nice for them in a third pairing role. Drew Fortescue looked nice in limited time, but. What are you really? Are we going to go forward with Braden Schneider as your number 2 right-hand defenseman or Will Borgen? One of those guys has to go.
And I can't help but point out that same fate is Keandre Miller 2.0. Just Braden Schneider, you're like, this guy's going to be something. Oh, wait, no, he isn't. All right, he's now an ex-Ranger.
I never thought that about Schneider. I thought Schneider maybe could have been at his very best a number 4. But I never thought that about him. There's nothing ever stood out about Schneider to me. What, he's physical? Okay, cool. So are God knows how many.
All right.
The other thing is too, there's not many good defensemen on the market. I mean, Rasmus Anderson is the best defenseman available. But he doesn't seem like a guy that's going to come east.
Yeah, again, they're not a Rasmus Anderson away either.
Yeah.
They need help on both left and right sides on defense. They need to get Dylan Garand more starts because at some point he's going to have to take over for Igor Shesterkin. Igor Shesterkin is going to start to decline during the life of this contract. They have to have his successor in place.
And especially when Igor has his his yearly injury.
No, it's the yearly mental reset that he needs.
Yeah, but it's starting to be that yearly injury too, the one that he's out for a few weeks. So
I think Garand's going to be their backup because if you look at the free agent goalies right now that are available on the free agent market, they're all really bad. And like
Garand looked good in limited time too. I know it was during, again, basically you could call it garbage time, but Garand looked good. He's looked good at the AHL level. I think it's time. And that's the one thing they've been good with is developing goalies. For the last 20 years, they've been really good with developing goalies. You brought in Andrei Pavlich when his career looked like it was over. They got something out of him. they prolonged Marty Biron's career as a backup. They
Antiranta.
made Valiquette into an NHL caliber backup. I mean, Cam Talbot, undrafted free agent, didn't even look like he had any shot at the NHL. They
Got
brought
a
him in.
Vesna Trophy vote.
Yeah, he ended up having 2 great years with the Rangers and turned out a decent career for a guy who was undrafted.
So out of all the goalies who are free agents, and I don't count Matt Murray because he only played in 5 games. There's not a single goalie on here free agent wise that had a save percentage above 9. Every free agent goaltender had a sub 900 save percentage this year. So what's the point? Give the job to Garand. I mean, who are you gonna? Who are you gonna sign? You're gonna sign Freddie Anderson? You're gonna sign Vitek Vanacek? Like, I don't know. I mean,
I mean, Freddie Anderson's not going to sign to be a backup.
Yeah, to me, I would just give it to Garand as the role.
Anthony, you got a good point because I think this offseason is going to save the Rangers from themselves.
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing to really.
I really do. I hope so, but I don't know.
Because there's only one guy that could actually legitimately spend big.
I'm gonna have to get going though, boys. I'll talk to you later.
Yeah,
we're gonna get going. But what's the one guy you said, Anthony?
Tuck. Tuck's the only guy that you could spend big on. Everybody else is. I mean, John Carlton, 36. I mean, is he?
Nope.
First, I don't think he's gonna go to the Rangers anyway. He's at the end of his career. Like,
yeah,
there's no one else to really spend on. I mean, Anders Lee certainly isn't going over to the Rangers, and they don't have interest in him. So like. There's nobody, yeah. So I know your head would explode if they brought Patrick Kane back, but he's a free agent. But I don't know.
But specifically that year, he actually got a Vesna Trophy vote.
Yes, he did.
And so when I mean he got a Vesna Trophy vote for the Rangers. All right, Anthony, we're gonna cut it there. So, guys, everybody, thanks for staying with us. Thanks for watching. Always keep recommending us everywhere because we'd love to be doing more of these and more shows full time for you guys. So everybody, just like you say, plant the seed like the Martian. We need the science shit out of these things. And yeah. But again, that's what you need to do also with the Rangers themselves. They need to get younger. They need to get better that way. All right. And yes, and get analytics, guys. Don't as much as I hate the term analytics, use them as a tool. They don't do anything like that. And set up an organization the way the teams that have been winning have been doing it. The Rangers still refuse to do it. All right, guys. Thank you very much. We will see you again soon. Who knows? Maybe we got the Rangers wrap up. We're going to try to make sure we schedule that. Talk about what went right and wrong with this season. I still have a video that I have been meaning to get done about the best Ranger team for the last century. And I didn't celebrate 100 years of this team because there wasn't much to celebrate in the 100th year. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. We will see you on the next one.